Woo! Oh yeah. The notification done went out. Oh yeah. The notification done went out. Let's stop that. We don't want that. No. We don't want that at all. So the notification done went out. We have stopped the echoes. And that means that we are live. And y'all are already in the chat. I am like, wow, y'all are made for me each and every week. How y'all will just sit up here and wait for me to go live. It's kind of incredible if you ask me. Man, I love y'all so much, man. I appreciate each and every one of you all that tunes in every week, waiting for your boy to go live. But we here and we live. And it's Friday. So you know what I'm about to do here. You know what's coming. Question is, are you ready? All right, so the arms are out. And you know what that means, baby. You know what that means, baby. This is the part of your evening where you might want to turn your volume down. Because if you don't turn your volume down, I am not responsible for what happens in your ear and in your immediate surroundings. So right now, you might want to turn your volume down so we can get this party started. Now that I've given you a moment to turn your volume down, woo! Go take one look to my right. Take a look to my left. Take a look to the front, baby. Because here comes the most electrifying introduction in live stream entertainment today, baby. Woo! It is time to go to work. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Vyp, baby. Woo! Oh, yeah. It is that day again. We are back. We are live on YouTube. And before I get started with this evening's festivities, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. So I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. What we got? We got Alex Jackson. What's up, bro? We got my head of security, El Jefe Reviews out there chilling. We got CDF Man. What's up, bro? We got Alter Tech. What's up, dog? We got Mia Diva Rodriguez. What's up, Mia? We got Natalie. The Right Ruin have returned. Hey, Natalie. Oh, we got the homie Bender, too. What's up, dude? How you doing? We got the Irish sensation, Aiden McCardo. He's in the building. What's up, Aiden? How you doing? We got the Tech Cousins. What's up, Tech Cousins? And Beanie Draws is out there chilling. What's up, Beanie? How you doing? Oh, and we got the New Zealand sweetheart. We got Sarah H&Z. What's up, Sarah? How you doing? Woo! We got Buzz. What's up, Buzz? How you doing? We got Alter Tech. We got Mediocre Tech. How you doing? And we got Apple World himself. What's up, Apple World? How you doing? Tech for your need. What's up, Tech for your need? Colin. What's up, Colin? My man Zach Talk Tech is out there. What's up, Zach? Forbes Tech Review. What's up, Forbes? How you doing, bro? And Emilio Takens. What's up, Emilio? Woo! All right, here we go. Now that we got the introduction out the way, y'all probably wondering, Viper, what is in store for us tonight? Well, I got a couple of surprises coming, and they're coming very, very quickly. Firstly, the first surprise, which is actually a surprise to me as of like 5 minutes ago, but the very first surprise is that the legendary Apple YouTuber himself, Apple World, is coming to Friday Night Vyp for the first time ever, like right now. He's coming right now. So as soon as I drop this link, the legendary Apple World himself will join me in the chat, and we will chop it up. But not only is Apple World coming back or coming to the show, like he's the first timer, but coming back to Friday Night Vyp tonight is my man, That Talk Tech. That's right, baby. Tonight is the return of That Talk Tech. He is back. Another awesome return to the show tonight for the second time ever. Coming back to Friday Night Vyp is the world's greatest Apple tech journalist himself, Rene Ritchie, is coming back to Friday Night Vyp tonight, baby. Woo! Oh, yes. Rene is coming back, but I am not done. Oh, no. I am not done tonight, y'all. No. So we got Apple World. We got That Talk Tech. Rene Ritchie, there's one more person coming, Bell. There's one more person coming. There's one more person coming. Like Steve Jobs would say, we got one more thing, baby. One more thing. Woo! So, for the first time ever in Friday Night Vyp history, we got the smoothest tech reviewer ever to lace up the tech shoes on YouTube. The man dresses like an absolute boss. His tech reviews are smooth and butter, baby. I'm talking about formerly Captain Two Bose himself. Now he calls himself Mr. Mobile. Michael Fisher is coming to Friday Night Vyp tonight, baby. Woo! Oh, yes. Oh, my God. What is going on, people? What is going on? That's right. So, Apple World, That Talk Tech, Rene Ritchie, and Mr. Mobile Michael Fisher himself will be here on Friday Night Vyp. Woo! So, my goodness, Apple World should be here in a moment. And when Apple World gets here, we will be talking about the video that I dropped last night, the Shot on iPhone challenge, and the controversy that is sprung up. Oh, I see Apple World out there chilling. What's up, Apple World? How you doing, bro?
How are you, man?
Oh, wait a minute. I just realized that I don't have my correct gear. Hold on. Be right back. I just realized I am not prepared. I got so excited, I forgot to prepare properly. So let me prepare properly. That might help so I can actually hear him. Woo! Oh, God. Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
This is the noob moment. This is the noob moment. All right. Put the headphones on so I can actually hear him. That'd be good. And we're in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I didn't have my headphones on, so I can hear you.
Oh, here we go.
I was a little excited.
Man, I'm excited. First time ever in
That's
Friday
right.
night.
First time ever that you're on the show. How you doing tonight, dude?
I'm good. I can't really talk really loud because everybody's sleeping.
That's all good, man. Don't even worry about it.
That's why I'm speaking.
But because you can't talk loud does not mean I can't talk loud.
Exactly, man.
So, I did a video last night. It was about the Shot on iPhone challenge. Now, the Shot on iPhone challenge is something that Apple is doing. And what they're doing is they're giving the average everyday person a chance to have their iPhone picture featured in Apple advertising, marketing, on billboards, things like that. Now, when Apple originally announced the contest, the winners were just going to have their picture featured in Apple marketing and advertising. There was no compensation. And for whatever reason, people got outraged because there was no money involved. Now, I made a whole video. What's that?
What do you think about it?
I'll get into that. So, my God, the RTs are pissed or were pissed because Apple wasn't offering compensation. Now, since the outrage, Apple has reneged, and now they are going to offer the winners compensation. But damn it, that still does not mean that I can't be pissed about it. I mean, good Lord, why are the RTs pissed that Apple is not offering compensation when Apple was not looking for professional photographers in the first damn place? They weren't looking for them. This contest was for the everyday Joe and Jane to submit their pictures to have a chance to be featured in Apple advertising. Apple was not looking for high-class, high-profile photographers. So the fact that Apple was offering money isn't a big deal when they're not looking for pro photographers. I don't know if you numbnuts have noticed, but Apple actually hires pro photographers every iPhone keynote. Do you know when they do the camera presentation at the keynote and they show those high-class pictures at the keynote? Guess what? Those pictures are shot by professional photographers that Apple paid for. They're not shot by the everyday Joe and Jane with an iPhone walking through the street. That's when Apple pays for the photography. So the fact that people are getting outraged over a simple concept where anybody, any jabroni with an iPhone can enter, just blows my mind and it pisses me off because it's typical of the outrage culture that we are living through here in 2019. So, Mr. Appleworld, what do you think about this whole situation?
Yeah, I just feel like people have exaggerated so much. Like, why? It's literally what you just said. It's like they aren't looking for photographers. They're literally just looking for the users, you know, for people who have their iPhone in their daily life and that are shooting. They want those photos. They don't want the, you know, the highest class photos. They want just simply really, really awesome photos that us as users are taking on our daily life with the iPhone. Did you actually submit any photos?
I did not know.
No? Did you see my photos?
I don't think so.
Let me see. Let me show you. Look.
So you actually submitted some photos, huh?
What?
You actually submitted some photos, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I submitted portraits that I've been taking.
I did see those. I thought it was on Twitter. Right. Okay. I thought those.
Yep. Yeah, these are actually photos. It's like this whole project that I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I've been taking photos of random people from the street, and I've been doing this for 3 years. And one day it will be a book, a project. Like, I don't know, but all I know is like I have like over 400 photos like that are awesome of like random people without, you know, backstories of what they've been through. And I don't know. It looks really awesome all together. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, yeah, those are some nice photos that you took. But would you call yourself a professional photographer, though? Would you call yourself that?
No, I'm not a professional photographer.
So, tell me, how would you feel if you wanted content and had your photo featured by Apple?
It'd be an honor. It'd be so awesome.
But you would not be looking for compensation now, would you?
The compensation is to be. Like, Apple's going to put these photos everywhere. That's my compensation.
Hello. Amen. That is what I'm saying. Like
Exactly.
I said in my video, if I actually entered the contest and I won and Apple chose my photo to be featured on billboards, marketing, etc., how would I feel as a random? How would I feel as like a random, like everyday Joe being featured by the world's most largest valuable tech company in their advertising campaign, getting all that exposure? And they would just be awesome. Like, just the feeling alone would be awesome. I wouldn't even be thinking about money per se. But of course, you know, people in outrage culture, they have to get outraged about eating and everything these days. So outrage culture, of course, won over because Apple is a brand. They don't really have any choice. You get that much outrage about a particular subject. I mean, you really don't have a choice but to bend over backwards. It's just kind of ridiculous. But that don't mean I can't rant about it on YouTube. It was just utterly ridiculous, the outrage. But like I said, since then, Apple has reneged. They're now offering compensation to the winners, and I guess outrage culture won this time. Whatever.
Yeah, and it's just not the Apple way. Like, I mean, Apple has never really given out a price in like anything that they've ever done. So it would have been really weird if Apple would have put like an actual price as the winner. Like, I don't even see that. Like, I don't agree with the people who are saying that there should have been a price at all whatsoever.
It's ridiculous, man. I mean, and it's not like Apple was just taking the photos and just posting them. Apple was going to give the winner credit anyway, before they even said they were giving compensation. Apple was going to credit the people who pictures they chose. They were going to give them credit. Like, what more do you want? Like I said, and the other thing is that Apple is going to have to do work on the pictures anyway. They said they might have to edit and touch up the pictures that they receive in the contest anyway to make them prime time ready for advertising. So why would Apple pay an average Jonah Jane who knows nothing about photography when Apple's going to have to do a lot of work on the back end anyway to make the pictures look presentable in their marketing and advertising? Like, why? Do you know what this is the equivalent of? Let me tell you all what this is the equivalent of. My very first YouTube video was 1 year ago on January 1st, 2018. That video was about me having the iPhone 10 for 2 months. What you outraged nerds are asking for is basically the equivalent of me asking for Apple to give me a brand deal for my very first YouTube video. How does that sound? Tell me how does that sound? I've never done a YouTube video in my life, but I'm gonna go out and ask Tim Cook. Yo, Tim Cook, I'm about to put this video on YouTube. I've never done a YouTube video in my life, Tim Cook. I don't know a monkey nibble about shooting a YouTube video, but Tim Cook ain't gonna be about your iPhone. Pay me. Are you serious? Really? Get lost, nerd. Get lost. Get on my nerves. Anyway, but
This
yeah.
is so funny. This is so funny because I'm talking so low and you're just like literally screaming so loud.
It's ridiculous. It literally is ridiculous.
Do you actually like Tim Cook? Do you like the way he's doing everything? Not just this, but do you like him in general?
Tim Cook is a fine dude. I mean, there are some things that he could do better, but I mean, he's been a fine CEO. Apple has grown to growth that they've never experienced under Steve Jobs. So Tim Cook he's doing some things right. Now he's not doing everything right by no means, but he is doing more right than wrong, if we're being honest. So
definitely, he's getting so much hate that I just don't really get it.
I mean, and some of the hate is deserved because Apple has taken a noticeable slide with their products, especially the quality control in the past 3 to 4 years. I mean, for the second time, we are having issues with the MacBook Pros and relatively new MacBook Pros. Like I made the video like 2 or 3 nights ago about the FlexGate with the issue with the MacBook Pro displays and the cable breaking off. Like we're talking about MacBook Pros that aren't even 3 years old yet, and you could potentially have the issue with your display because the cable that they use in the and the flexing of the lid, the cables are too short, so they break easily. So like, how did you like overlook that in your engineering and R&D? I don't know. So some of these things it's just mind-boggling to me that they slip through the cracks.
It's not just Tim Cook. I mean, stuff like this happened when Steve Jobs was here too. So I mean, it happens to every single company if you think about it.
But it's happening at a much more alarming rate now that Tim Cook is at the helm, which is really weird because before Tim Cook was CEO, he was COO, which is Chief Operations Officer. So Tim Cook was in charge of logistics and things like that before he ever became CEO. So not that much has that more or less has to do with how Apple products getting to where they need to go on time. So that doesn't really have much to do with quality control, but still, Tim Cook has a background in operations, so it's just kind of weird to me that he doesn't have a better handle on the quality control issues that seem to be plaguing Apple lately. But hopefully they'll clean it up because every year we're coming up with something different, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
Definitely. Can I just say that I miss Zach's videos? Don't you, man?
Oh man, Zach, yeah, man. I'm kind of glad he's coming back tonight, man, because he hasn't been on here in a while. He hasn't put out a video in a while. So yeah, we got the man Zach coming back tonight. That'll be fun to talk to him. Definitely not the same without my man Zach in the YouTube space, but he'll be back. He'll be back in short order.
Yeah, really. I mean, the community has been kind of weird without him. Oh, stop, Apple World, too kind. It's true. Return of the Zach, TechRant says.
It is true, and people have been asking about you since you're gone, man. You know you made an impact when people ask about you when you're not around. Yeah. They're like, yo, where's Zach at? It'd
be like if you leave. It's like, the community without Viper wouldn't be the same. Viper, what are your thoughts on this guy?
On what guy? What am I looking at?
This guy.
Oh boy. The Apple Smart Battery Case. I think it's overpriced.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
So I got this guy and I was returning it today. I called Apple. And you will not believe what they say. So since this smart battery case actually has a lithium battery, I can't ship it back. So Apple's like, sorry, you won't be able to return it. But the thing is, like, we'll pay you back for it. You can keep it if you want, or you can bring it back to the Apple store. And I'm like, wait, what did you just say? So I can keep it and you're paying me back? And they're like, yeah, or you can give it back if you want. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I just got a free smart battery case from Apple, which is great. Super random. I just didn't see that coming at all.
I mean, but that's Apple though. That's typical Apple customer service. I mean, they will bend over backwards to take care of their customers usually. Now, do they do it all the time? No, there are some cases where Apple does wrong by the customers. I made a whole entire video about this back in April of last year when I felt like they did Linus Tech Tips wrong with his whole iMac Pro debacle. But most of the time, Apple gets a lot more than they do right than wrong with customer service. Apple is the single best customer service entity on planet Earth, normally.
Yeah, I've never been upset at Apple's customer service at all. Like nothing has really ever happened to me. Viper, Have you thought on getting the gold Milanese band on your Apple Watch?
No, not really. I mean,
You don't like it?
I mean, I paid enough for the watch. I'm not trying to pay out of the wings aim for the band, man.
You can buy one. You can buy one online, a third party.
Yeah, Probably. I mean, the Milanese,
it would look really good on you.
The Milanese doesn't really appeal to me too much. I mean, I'm more of a Nike band person, although this is the regular band that came with the watch. But I like the Nike band because they have all the.
That's not the one that came on the watch.
Huh?
That's not the one that came on your watch, did it?
Yeah, this is the one that came with the watch. This is the stone color watch band.
It looks white from my screen.
Yeah, this actually came with my my stainless steel gold one. So, but I like the Nike band because they look nice.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Yep. All right, so I just sent links out to Rene and Michael. Rene just said he'll be on in a sec. Michael Fisher, I think he was just waiting for me, so Michael Fisher will be here shortly, and then things will get interesting.
And then I'll have to leave. Great.
And then you got a little. I mean, you don't have to leave, but I mean, hey, you know.
I'll just say hi to Rene and then I'll leave.
Like, it's just so funny. Like, Rene is one of my all-time like favorite people. And especially the way he covered Apple journalism over the past like 10 years.
Yep.
And like the way he just burst onto the YouTube scene like a bat out of hell. Like the dude is already up to 83,000 subscribers and he's only been on YouTube for like a year. Like, damn.
Yeah. And his views, like, forget about the subscribers. Look at the views that he has.
Yeah, he has like, I think he has like 10 million views. Yeah, he had 10 million views, man.
No, but if you look at his videos, just like, look, let me pop over his channel. Like, it's insane.
Oh yeah, like
63,000 views, 66,000, 20,000, 50,000.
Yeah, Rene is a beast. Like but it's well deserved. Like even Marquez said last week when he was on here, Marquez said himself, he was like, Rene is one of my favorite up-and-coming creators, even though Rene is not really new to the tech space. As far as YouTube goes, he's relatively new in, but he ain't killing it. He just came in he just hit the ground running, like boom.
Totally. Aiden says, what's your go-to editing photo editing app on your iPhone? It's Snapseed. I really like Snapseed. So yeah, I guess Snapseed would be it. It's definitely a great app.
I use an app.
Rene is in the house.
Oh, hey. Rene, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
How do you pronounce your name? Rene or Rene?
Rene.
Rene. Okay.
Rene, this is Apple World. I don't know if you're familiar with Apple World, but he's been on YouTube a while. He has over 100,000 subscribers, doing big things in the Apple world, no doubt, and no pun intended. Rene, what you're not aware of is that my man Michael Fisher is joining us shortly too.
What?
Yes, Michael Fisher is on the way.
He's a coworker, but he's also one of my favorites.
Absolutely, man. So we were right before you got on here, Rene. We were just talking about how you hit the ground running on YouTube and all the success that you've had. You're almost up to like 84,000 subscribers, like over 10 million views. You have just been killing it, man.
Thank you. I listen to people way smarter like me, like yourself included.
I don't know if I'm smarter than you. There's not too many people that I know on Earth that are smarter than you, man. You are killing it, dude.
Oh, thank you. No, I really appreciate that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally see on your videos that you put research into every single one of them, and you don't really see that in YouTube in 2019. And that's one of the only channels that you can see that you just research and research.
Oh, I appreciate it. I hate being wrong on the internet. It's like one of my biggest fears.
No,
I do that. I do that sometimes, and it's not good. So you're an inspiration to all of us, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, right, Rene. You know, Rene firsthand. You cannot be wrong on the internet because they will eat you alive. I
don't mind to eat you alive. It's just I feel like I'm immense. Like I've let everybody down if I'm wrong. You know, because like we have this great opportunity to provide information and insight and help people. And if you like tell them bad stuff, then it's kind of your fault.
True.
Yeah, I mean, but we're human though. We all make mistakes though. We're not gonna be perfect all the time. So I mean,
totally. I just want to make sure I've done everything I can to get it right.
Yeah. And CJ knows Texas in the house.
That's right. Hey. And the cool thing about YouTube is that even if we do make mistakes, we actually have the ability to like add a comment and pin it to let people know that we made a mistake and do things like that. So
can't replace the video like Apple or Google, but
all right, Rene. So I'm curious. Like last night, I did a rant on this whole shot on iPhone challenge and all the outrage and crap. I'm just curious. What do you think about the outrage that Apple originally did not offer or was not going to offer compensation to the winners?
So they were always going to offer compensation to the winners. They've always done that. They were always going to do it. They wanted to keep the focus on the photographs, though. But because it's Apple, like if LG had put up the exact same contest, I don't think it would have gotten a single headline. Nobody would have read the agreement. Nobody would have looked at it. But because it's Apple, and I think it's great that Apple's scrutinized. I wish every company was as scrutinized as Apple, just as a consumer, because I want that kind of protection. I want to know that everything I do, I look at, I buy, has been put through the absolute ringer. But yeah, so it's, I mean, you can't win at this, because if you don't mention the money, then there's people who are pro photographers who want to enter, who's like, oh, you're just trying to get my work for free. If you do mention money, then they're like, oh, now you're doing spec work. You want me to go take photographs and you'll only pay the winner. You're not going to pay me for my photograph. And then if they say, well, okay, now we're not going to run a competition, then you look like a complete jerk. So,
but my whole issue with Rene is that it's a voluntary contest. Like, how is that a voluntary contest, Rene? How does that work?
Exactly.
And maybe it'd be good if professionals didn't enter, so that, like, the whole point, like, shot on iPhone is not an Apple thing. They found that in the community and they wanted to amplify it. And if you start getting people like, I'm a professional, I demand 10 grand for my photo, I think it kind of ruins the spirit of shot on iPhone.
Right, because like I was saying in my video, shot on iPhone is not for professional photographers.
Yeah.
Apple has a whole keynote dedicated to professional photographers. This whole shot on iPhone challenge was for the everyday Joe and Jane who happens to have an iPhone who might want to submit their pictures and be featured in Apple advertising. It was never meant for professionals, never.
Austin Mann is a judge, not a competitor.
Rene, do you know, like, if they change the metadata, like, how does Apple know that's actually been taken on the iPhone? Like, people say that they can change the metadata, so how does that exactly work?
So I mean, it depends on the technical level. They can change the metadata, but every camera has it's like the image signal processor on a camera leaves digital footprints. So I'm like the kind of people who are involved in the competition are the people who actually built the silicon and who made the camera app and who are in charge of like the low level foundations. And I'm pretty sure they can zoom up the picture and go, no, we don't bokeh like that, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a Samsung bokeh.
Did you submit any?
No, I don't. I always feel like funny doing that. You know, I don't know if I should.
You should.
Because I feel like then I'd have to. If they pick one, I might have to report on it, and then I'd feel hella awkward.
So speaking of reporting and awkwardness and whatnot, how do you were at CES, right? How did you enjoy that?
I went for 36 hours, including the red eyes, just because I ended up having meetings I had to go to. So I didn't get to see much of it. I got to walk through the spectacular Samsung and LG television areas, though, where it's like wallpapered, like literally curves and corners wallpapered with OLED, which was pretty spectacular.
Are you coming to MWC?
No, we send Fisher to that. There's never been an Apple, like there's kerfs there and there's knockoffs and there's dummies, like, so there'll be like an iPad dummy there or something, but there's no Apple stuff, so it's all the Android and Windows stuff. And
I love
Samsung was here last year.
It's unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
It's like every CES there used to be phones, every NWC there used to be phones, and now everyone wants their own event, and sometimes there's phones.
Yeah. I've got extra tickets to whoever wants to come.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. You're in Spain, so that makes sense.
Do you have extra Yamo and Berica? Because that would get most people to show up immediately.
Just MWC, sorry.
Everybody goes for the ham. That's the secret of NWC.
Yeah.
So Rene, I am curious. I know you just released your secret history of iPhone video. I know, and you were I saw that on Twitter that you were talking about how long it took you to make that video, or how long it took you to put it out. I'm curious, how long did it take you to make that video?
Well, some of the interviews I conducted like years and years ago, and I was like building up like the interviews with a lot of the team members I did over the last 10 years. But the actual video took me about 2 weeks to put together. Like a lot of it was deciding what to include and what not to include and who to include. Like I was really bummed I didn't have women included in it, but they've all gone back to work for Apple. And the last thing I wanted was a call from PR saying, when did you talk to them? So it was a lot of adding, taking out, and then trying to make it into a interesting story.
No doubt. That video was well done. I mean, all your videos are well done, but
Thank you.
But just watching that video, you could easily tell the time and effort that you put into shooting that video and just crafting it just right. Because it's more to doing videos than just shooting a video, right? You have to figure out how you want to organize the video, where to put each different idea and segment and things like that. then there's the editing. There's so
I'm
much.
getting jealous, Viper.
There's so much to going into making a video, and you just don't know how it's gonna. And even if you do it and you feel like you do it right, you don't know how it's gonna turn out until the final product is out there. So you did an excellent job with that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then you forget something, you got to figure out if you need to add it or you have to reshoot it or you got to take it out because it didn't work the way you thought it would.
Right. And then our latest problem these days is YouTube gonna process it correctly.
360p, baby.
Oh Lord, why?
It sucks. It didn't actually happen to me though. It was just for 60 FPS videos, right?
No, mine is 24 FPS, and I kept getting it. Yeah.
Well, some of the people that were shooting in, some of the people that were uploading in 60 FPS were saying that they're staying in 360p forever, like it would never come out. Some of those of us that were uploading in 24 FPS, it would just take a while, but eventually it would turn over. So I think there's something to that frame rate resolution thing.
I think we should go with it because everyone in the comments goes, "Oh, why is it 360p? Why is it?" That's the new normal. That's the glam for 2019. 2019 is the year of 360p. It's retro. It's awesome.
And it's fun because I ran into an issue day after day if we trying to upload videos. So I was like, all right. And then I noticed that your video were in 360p, and I'm like, wait a minute. So Rene's just uploading, he doesn't care. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna upload and just don't care and let it do what it do. So I just started uploading 360p, and then eventually it would turn over to 4K at some point. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, someone told me that it only actually fixes it to put it live. So I tried that because it was like 360p forever, and then I put it live, and like a couple hours later, it worked.
Yeah, I think there's something to that because even mine that were in 360p, the moment I hit live, like it only take like a few minutes to then it'll be in like 1080p or 4K. So yeah, I think there is something to making the video go live and having the resolution bump up.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of ridiculous that we have to go through this anyway. Like you would think that when you upload a video in a certain resolution and a frame rate, that YouTube is supposed to handle it and process it in a timely manner because some of these videos are time sensitive, so it kind of sucks when you have to sit on them because the resolution is not correct.
So I heard a rumor that I have no way to prove or not. Do you want to hear it? Is this the appropriate place for a rumor that may be totally false?
Go ahead, right?
I heard a rumor that YouTube pushed out a new way to process so that really big channels like their PewDiePies and Jake Pauls get this advanced special time of flight encoding that makes it look super good quality but saves a lot of space because they play those videos so often. It takes up a lot of bandwidth. And like the rest of us get sort of like this lower level software encode. And by enabling the system, they broke the way that videos are encoded. Now they're scrambling to fix it.
You know, I have no idea, but if it were true, I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them.
Hey, Rene, I have a question. Oh, Zach, yes. I miss you, man. You're back.
Wow, thanks, man.
Evening.
I heard you guys are bitching about YouTube upload.
Yeah.
360p for life.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
What it feels like.
Nice to meet you, Rene.
Nice to meet you too. Do I remember correctly that you're a fellow Canadian?
I am. I'm in Calgary.
Tim Hortons, sir.
Yeah,
I hear you. Roll up the rim to win.
Is it on right now? I haven't.
No, it's not. Sadly, it just says get our app today. This says everything's an app now. Get our app.
I actually like the McDonald's coffee better than.
It varies by region. I found that out.
Did you know? So a couple years ago, when Tim Hortons rolled out their dark roast campaign, remember that? Tim Hortons still promotes it a lot. What happened is Tim Hortons lost their supplier apparently, and that supplier went to McDonald's.
Wow.
So what
you're Canadian drama, guys? We're sorry. This is Canadian drama.
it's a big deal, man.
I feel so out of this.
It's like if Dunkin' Donuts stole the coffee maker from Starbucks, and it's getting real.
Exactly. Exactly. But no, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, I actually come up to Montreal 2 or 3, sometimes 4 times a year, depending on how many times the company has me out there. So
awesome.
Beautiful city, beautiful culture. I'd move out there in a second. So at least you guys know how to clear the snow out there. Unlike out
Once
here.
in a while, we make the word pasta illegal, but other than that,
yeah, you gotta watch out for those bilingual police out there, right? So, are you fluent in the old French there?
I did it in school, but I've worked for American companies for like 20 years, so I've not used it to the point where it's really rusty.
Mm-hmm. I like Montreal because it's I mean, I've been to Quebec City. I've been to Sherbrooke and everything. But the latest thing about Montreal is that you don't have to know French. Like everybody's very easy to kind of switch on and off, French, English, and
As long as you're not local, we're happy with English.
exactly. So there's even whole areas that are just English themselves, right?
More or less. I mean,
more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Unofficially. Yeah. Perfect. Well, I mean, I enjoy everything that you bring to the community and everything. And I think I've told you this before in a couple of DMs or tweets here and there, but I consider your channel and what you do to be a resource for someone like myself. I know the other creators, they'll watch a Rene video and then they might quote you on it or something like that and everything. So thank you for everything you've done up till now. And I can't wait to see where things go for you, man.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Appreciate that.
No problem. Would you ever get out west?
I do, but it's almost always San Francisco.
Okay, so you go stateside. Okay, all right. Well, if you ever
does that count?
No, I guess so. If you ever find yourself out here with the Rockies and everything, out in the Banff, Calgary area, let me know, and we'll go grab a beer or something.
You're Midwest, right, Viper?
I am Midwest, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the cold and the.
Yeah, it's like it was negative temperatures early today. Now it's like single digit. Yeah.
Did you get that storm, Viper?
It's starting to a little bit, but I think the rough stuff coming on Monday.
We left the back door open. We're sorry. We apologize. That was our bad.
Was that last week that you guys got hit with that, Rene?
For the last 3 or 4 days, we had snow and then ice and now rain and now it's frozen ice.
Oh my God, man!
All right, Apple, you just put up a picture. What was that?
This is in Quebec.
Oh, and Coke.
I've been in Canada.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Check out that hair.
Oh yeah, you know Ontario.
Yeah,
I've heard of Ontario. I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've been there too. Anyways,
it's across the Great Lakes from Viper.
Yeah. So Rene, I'm curious of your thoughts. Do you think that Apple is bringing back the iPhone SE because of slumping iPhone sales?
No, I wish they would. I love what they've done with the iPad line, where you have iPad Pro that's gotten more expensive, but they've made the regular iPad cheaper, and the new iPad Mini might be even cheaper. And I wish they'd do that with iPhone. They could have their iPhone XS and XS Max, and then have like an SE and an SE Plus or whatever that is much cheaper, but also much more accessible. And I know sometimes people say people don't buy anything but the flagship iPhone. But I think if they just did it as a thing, the smaller sizes, I think they find a lot of appeal, and it would take the edge off of Apple being so expensive.
I think that SE is $300 right now at Costco.
It's amazing.
That's like Canadian dollars, I think.
Starting off at $250 here in the States.
So $3 50 cents. That's what the American exchange is right now.
So the question, Rene, is why did they bring the iPhone SE back? Why?
Oh, they just had stock, so they cancel things like a head chopping machine, like a guillotine, and it's just like iPhone SE is no longer for sale. That's it. Doesn't matter how many they have in stock. And then they do like with Apple refurb or with Apple secondhand. I forget what the official term for it is. They just push those out as surplus quantities, and you can get them. It happens with other products too, but they don't get the same attention as an iPhone, obviously.
I'm thinking I can't remember Apple bringing back a product.
They do usually they just sell them off in emerging markets. Like all of a sudden you'll have a bunch of iPhone 4s go out in Brazil or a bunch of iPhone 6s go out in India. And then people go, oh my God, Apple brought back the iPhone 6 for India. But it's just, they've got that, they produce a certain amount every time and they have them they could bury them in the desert with like Pac-Man games, but I don't think they want to do that.
There's a waiting list at 2 of the Costco's here in town for people looking for the SE. So you had to go in, put down your name and everything. I'm actually supposed to pick up mine tomorrow.
Really?
Nice.
I've always wanted to like, because I mean I've got the 10R right here, right? But I've always wanted to just see what the SE is like. Plus, I know that I could flip it real easy, make some money.
You're still using the 10R?
Yeah, man, I'm still loving it. I'm still using it. I'm jonesing for my watch. It's on its way back. So yeah.
Cool.
So I just got a tweet from Michael Fisher that he's running a little late, but he's on the way.
I want to know how many. I never asked him this when he was on the podcast with Jason and I want to know how many vests he owns.
He's really actually writing the script for his appearance tonight. That's right.
I saw the tweet.
It's going to be VO. It's going to be complete VO.
Either that or he's really getting suited up for it, man. You know how he is. He dressing up all the time.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Rene, you were saying both you and Michael are both part of Mobile Nations. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go to bed. It is late. It's 2 a.m.
Are you in Barcelona?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, one question for you, man. What do I have to do for me to attend to an Apple keynote?
So
Because I cannot wait any longer for me to open up my email and be like, Apple has invited you.
there are two answers to that. And it's only different because you're outside the US. It took me forever, like literally years and years of asking as a blogger. I started in 2008, and I think it took me 5 years to get invited to WWDC. And you just keep asking because everybody is asking. It's like the hottest ticket in town, and they only have so much capacity. And so you just keep asking. But recently they've begun focusing on international more. So if you find out who the reps are for your area and you bug them, there's a much higher likelihood you can get in through international than you could through mainline Apple PR.
So, but who do I bug though?
I don't know. I'm not familiar at all with Apple Spain, but there's probably...
But I mean, in Apple US, where do you go?
So just look for a press release, and whatever you want to go to, like if it's iPhone or iPad, whatever, find the press release about it. It'll have whoever is the latest person for that on there, and then just email them, and they'll...
Yeah, I did that. From Newsroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I didn't even get a response.
Yeah, I didn't get a reply for 5 years, and I kept every time I saw them.
Either? Okay, cool.
No, and then I would for Dub I would buy tickets and I would try and talk to them, and it just takes forever. And there's no good answer.
I'll just keep on going.
Yeah, you have to just keep going. This was a great story. This one guy who left Apple and went back, and people were asking him like, how do I get attention? And he goes, look, it's animal husbandry. That is the closest analogy I can ever give you for working with Apple. It's what can you do for them? And I think that's also why you see their strategy so different now. It's like if they give a phone to The Verge or to like Engadget, they know that those people are already interested. So they're like, oh, can we give Beyonce the Apple Watch? Can we give Taylor Swift the iPhone? Can we give this YouTuber who's about fashion or about photography and not about technology? And that splits the audience even more. So then now all the old magazine people were so angry when the bloggers got in, and now the bloggers are so angry that the YouTubers are getting in, and then the YouTubers are so angry that the non-tech YouTubers are getting in. But it's just that the audience is so mature now that they want to find like someone who's into race cars, talk about the advantages of race cars with phone.
Yeah.
But just keep trying. That's the only advice I can give you.
I'll keep.
It's a vicious cycle.
No, and you talk to people who've been going there for 20 years, and they're like, I seriously don't know if I'll get invited any given time. Like it's never something that, and I hate the fact that I'm that anxious all the time, but you really never know. And you'll go to the events, you're like, where's Bob? And they're like, Bob didn't get invited. And you're like, oh.
Come on, Rene. I don't think you have to worry about getting invited to an Apple.
Every time, because you always go and there's always somebody you think it should be there who's not there. And it's just like, oh, well, we're really focusing on music, so we invited more music people, so there wasn't room for these people.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think they need a Spanish Apple tech channel in the house.
Totally.
No doubt, man. No
doubt.
But if you can find Apple Spain and just bug them, international gets its own set of seats now, so it's much. It might be easier to get in that way.
Yeah, who's this? I don't know if you guys can help me. There's this tech channel. He's from Dubai. He's got like 40K subs. And he got invited.
Yeah, because Apple Dubai. Yeah, because Apple Dubai was like Apple does a lot of stuff in Dubai now, so they want the Dubai audience because those people buy a crap ton of expensive watches.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah, M-Quan actually does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apple is definitely expanding their reach as far as reaching out to different types of people to get to invite them to Apple events, definitely.
And that clearly shows, I mean, the point of the Apple Watch Hermes, for example, kind of like this, it's got the same reasoning behind it.
Yeah, and then just keep find a niche if you can, and then just keep trying, and there's no good answer, which is what makes it horrible.
Okay. All right, guys.
All right, man.
Everybody says M-Quan is legit. All right. Peace out.
He's awesome. Have a good one.
It's good seeing you, man.
Thanks for inviting me.
All
Zach,
right,
I'm glad you're back. And Rene, nice meeting you.
Yeah, great meeting you.
Peace.
Cheers.
So
Rene, I have a question. Sorry, go ahead, Weber.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was going to say this is kind of a long question. So our good friend Jason Lewis over at Painfully Honest Tech. I don't know if you guys ever met or chatted back and forth. He brought out a video tonight called "Has Apple Run Out of Ideas?" And I've only watched about half of the video. But in the beginning part of the video, Jason goes on to talk about how, you know, the iPod was introduced and kind of changed the music industry, and Apple kind of spurred that. And, you know, of course, the iPhone came out, and then, you know, everybody else kind of started following suit. And of course, you know, if you're an Android person, I guess there's ways to kind of argue that. But the general question is besides Apple making more of a focus on health and also optimization and clearly software this year, do you think in terms of hardware that Apple has run out of ideas? Like, what's the next thing after the phone? And don't go to the watch, please. No. Besides that, what do you think that next thing could be? And do you think it'll be Apple?
So I have two answers to this, and you can pick between them. Maybe they're the same answer. Apple has never really created new product categories. They were early to the personal computer with the Apple line, but there were other personal computers. There were other, you know, the Mac. There was 10 years of phones before the iPhone, smartphones, like BlackBerry and Palm. There was 10 years of tablet PC before the iPad. There were a few years of Pebble watches before the watch, you know, things like that. Mm-hmm. Apple's gift is never creating new product categories. It's always watching, observing, seeing the problems that people have, and then making something that doesn't always do everything that everyone else does, but does a few core things really well in a very nice, easy to use, easy to understand, accessible package that mainstream people can buy. They take things that are nerdy little tech things and they make them accessible to everybody. So I think that question needs to be broader. Like, what is next in the industry? What is the next big thing? Because like smartphones, Apple didn't invent them. Apple did really good in the business. Apple didn't invent the watch. So what else can the tech industry invent? And it's not clear yet. Like some people have VR headsets, AR headsets, wearables, not just the watch, but like all sorts of wearables. You know, cars are obviously, Tesla's working on cars. There are all these things, but none of those things, you know, Apple usually waits. There's this really old book called Crossing the Chasm where things go from early adoption to mainstream acceptance. And Apple's typically had really good success in predicting that moment when they're about to go mainstream and then entering the market. And they were a little bit early with watch. So we kind of watched them flounder for a couple of years. I don't think there's any good assistants yet. Like, I think all the assistants are still terrible. Until I can do what Tony Stark does, this stuff is all pretty much garbage to me. So I think everyone's early there. But I think I think that's a question for the tech industry. And then we have to see what Apple's. Hey, Michael.
Hello, Rene.
Oh, fancy meeting you here.
I didn't know you were going to be here. Hi, buddy.
I didn't know you were going to be here either. I'm so happy.
Oh, so am I. This is so lovely. It's when you show up to a party when you're like, I didn't know I was going to know anybody, and then I knew somebody. Of course.
Oh, absolutely, man. So for those of y'all that are not aware, we have just been joined by the smoothest man in tech today, Mr. Mobile himself, Michael Fisher is in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm feeling great. After that intro, I'm feeling amazing. I'm never going to be able to live up to it, but thank you so much.
No pressure.
Totally nailed it.
Wait. Am I looking at this right? Michael's not dressed up? Oh my God.
He's wearing a vest.
A little bit. I'm wearing, I've got, at least I have layers on. I mean, it's Boston, I'm going to die.
I mean, but there's no tie, no blazer, no nothing like that. I'm shocked.
No, it's Friday night, It's been a long week. It's time to crack a seltzer and relax a little bit.
I don't know, Michael. Every time I see you, you're like dressed to the nines, man. So I just want to make sure I was seeing right,
Keep forgetting that, and I'll just go on and existing in real life, and people will be like, "Are you Mr. Mobile? Yeah, you're not wearing a suit." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forget that I do that in video."
It's good seeing you again, Michael.
It is. It finally just rotated back over, and I'm still.
I can see it on your face. You're like, I know that guy.
No, of course I remember. I love the new haircut, and I still going to call you Zach.
The hard part, it takes a lot of work, as TLD says.
Oh, what a great group! What have you guys been talking about?
So far, just some Apple stuff. Rene was talking about the reason why Apple brought back the iPhone SE. He was talking about how sometimes Apple brings back products that they have extra stock of, things like that. But Michael, I want to talk to you about one of the recent videos that you just did. And you probably know where I'm going with this. We got to talk about your time with the Pixel Slate, Michael.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That was good.
Woo, baby.
Yeah, what's crazy about the Pixel Slate is that, and Rene and I were talking about this, so this will be familiar to him. Like, you know what's crazy about it? It's probably the future. Like I feel like I'm looking at the Surface back in 2012, where it's like, wow, this is a great idea, but this is not a good execution. and maybe someday it'll live up to its potential. That day is not today, and that's a shame, because I don't know how you guys feel. Negative reviews are not my favorite ones to give for a variety of reasons.
I was gonna grab one to do a review and then just kind of return it or possibly keep it, but I just got confused with all the different options and everything. And then I read a couple reviews and I'm like, how are these two people, which I know have had it out in the past, literally saying the same thing?
Yeah.
That scared me, right? I was like,
and
Celeron is still a thing. That was my initial reaction. There's still a Celeron chip.
That's what I said. I was like, what, Celeron? What?
Yeah. Right? For what it's worth, I stayed away from most of the other reviews. I think I maybe read one but before I wrote mine, because I didn't want to be repeating anyone else. But apparently that's exactly what I did. I was like, surely I can find something new to say, right? No.
Tell me if this is your philosophy too, Michael, but I will avoid a negative review for a product that nobody knows about, because I don't want to give negative attention to something. But if it's something so popular that almost everybody's going to want to know, I feel like I have to look at it. Yeah,
I think that's right. I think I haven't thought about it in a way to put it into concrete terms like that, but I think you're right. I think I'm in the same boat as you. Generally, if it's a Kickstarter firm that happens to have this really bad thing, and like they're obviously not going to make their goal or something like that, there's no point just to bringing it up just to destroy it. But if it's something like, it's a case-by-case thing, right? Because if it's something that a lot of people are spending a lot of money on already, I don't care what the size of the thing is. It's like, wait, hold on, no, this is bad, you shouldn't buy it, don't buy it, stop.
Like any mouse Apple has ever made.
I kind of like the Magic Trackpad, but yeah, you're right.
I love the trackpad. I do not love the Magic Mouse.
Yeah.
So, Michael, it's pretty funny because I remember you, Marquez tweeted out that he got the Sony 1000 XM3s, and you were tweeting him about the Phantom Touches. And for the first time today, I experienced it myself because it's like negative degrees here in Chicago. I'm like, oh my god,
it's like negative 23 for you guys right now, right? It's crazy.
It's cold.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. Every time I walk outside with my 1000 Mark IIIs, every time in the past week or so, I get exactly to the same point on my block every time. And I thought it was something to do with where I was standing. Like I thought there was radio frequency interference or something like that. And then I read Chris's piece on The Verge and I was like, oh, it's the cold. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's creepy, right?
It is, but the thing is, like, well, not really with the Phantom Touches per se, but it seems like a lot of the over-the-air headphones don't work well in cold weather. I had a similar issue when I had the Beat Solo 3s back in the day. They just wouldn't work in the cold, but then when you took them inside, they worked again. Like,
how long are you in the cold for? I just avoid it. I live in Canada.
Oh, you avoid it, don't you?
I go out and I do the walk and I go back inside. Leave me alone.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we got a bunch of Northerners here. Renee, you're in Canada as well.
Yeah, we're a frozen group right now.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing about the over-ear headphones is like the colder climates are probably what these things are going to be worn in the most.
They're not earmuffs, Viper. They're not.
But no, that was a serious question though, Viper. Like, how long were you outside for when that happened? Like, do you know?
Oh, I wasn't outside at all that long when I got the Phantom Touches, and plus I had a hood on over them, and I still got the Phantom Touches. Like, that was the first time. I've had these for almost a month, and that was the first time I had the Phantom Touches, and I had a hood on over them too. So it's definitely a problem. But it boggled me that over-ear headphones are not really engineered to work well in cold weather when the majority of the time they're going to be worn probably is in cold weather. I mean, I don't know.
It's true, and but it's funny because while the Bose QC35s don't have that problem, in my experience, they do have this issue with the way they implement noise canceling. Means that if you are wearing them outside on a windy day, it's really annoying to wear them. Because it's like somebody's in your ear with like crinkling up some newspaper, and it's really frustrating. Whereas the Sony Mark IIIs don't seem to have that issue, right? So it's a bit of a give and take thing. I think the Sony issue is more severe because it's pretty obvious that they didn't know that was a thing. And you're absolutely right. I do use them as earmuffs. Renee, I don't care what you say. It's the only way I keep my ears from falling off in the
with a nice bear skin, right? Nice bear skin just put over.
Yeah. But it's wild. As I said on Twitter, I'd love to see the conversations happening in the Sony labs about that. I mean, it's a tough thing to do a software fix for, right?
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to come up with something because it's definitely a problem. I did a video about it. I got like almost 1,000 views on that video, so it's definitely an issue.
Yeah, and like if Tesla can fix, bad window electric motors with a software update, I have faith that Sony can maybe do something about this. I don't know.
Definitely. So I'm interested, Michael. Who came up with Captain Two Phone? Was it you or somebody else?
That was actually a nickname given to me at a theater party after a show in 2008, shortly after I moved to Boston. I walked in and people knew that I carried 2 phones even back then because I've always been a nerd. And I entered the kitchen of this party, and my friend Crystal was like, Lord Two Phones is here. He's deigned to join us. I was like, and I don't know when it became Captain Two Phones instead, but that's when that happened. And when I needed to get a Twitter account, I was like,
Oh, because Americans cannot be knighted legally. So
there we go. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
But we can receive captain's commissions just
Yes.
drop of
Yeah,
a hat.
just like that.
Yeah. As we all know.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you two have you and Rene have attended a lot of events together. So what are you guys' favorite memories at events that you've attended together? I'm curious.
The one that
I know what
jumped
mine
to mind-
is.
You do? I want you to go first. Go ahead.
All right, mine is walking into the after party for the OnePlus event and just watching Narav and everybody else running around in their onesie overcoat things, Miriam and Narav, and I think there were giant pink Hugh Hefner jackets, if memory serves.
Wait, which OnePlus event was this? Was this
Was it
recently?
we were upstairs and it was cold outside?
Oh,
Was it OnePlus? I think it was OnePlus. It was
that's all
just
of them.
recently in New York,
Okay. One of
and
these
everyone was in these
after
orange bathrobes.
parties. What? No, I missed this. Was I even there?
Yeah,
Orange bathrobes? What are you talking about?
and isn't that when Russell got the red phone and Chris from Engadget had his little tiny palm?
Oh, you're talking about the rooftop party.
Yes.
Of course. Yes. So this context, it was cold in New York City. It was a rooftop party, and this bar that we were at gave everybody what they were bathrobes, and then we hung around some like bonfires or like heat lamps or something.
Yes, we did not want to move.
We drank hot cider with rum in it, and I forgot my wallet at the bar. That was a good night. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That sounds like a movie. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was. I have so many, just tons of wonderful memories from events. I think the most recent one though was learning how to play craps at CES. Oddly enough, that was connected to a OnePlus person as well.
No one party like a OnePlus party.
Just gonna say they know how to party pretty well. But you know, it's funny. It's kind of regardless of the company or regardless of the event, it's always fun to talk to PR people about living that lifestyle, because these folks, you know, they do a lot of hard work during the day, but then at night they go out and part of their job is to party. And so I remember distinctly talking to one PR person who I had seen leave the bar with all of us when we got thrown out at 4:30 in the morning. And we showed up for an 8 a.m. briefing. Like I got an hour of sleep. I looked like hell. We all looked like disaster areas. This one PR person looked just perfect, utterly put together. Like she had just come off a 2-week vacation. And I was like, how do you do this? How do you exist in this lifestyle? And she just looked at me and she was like I was stupid. Makeup, Michael. Makeup. No, all right.
You're a theater person, Michael. You know, we put on a mask.
Actually, let's pivot for a second, because I've wondered about this, because it was recently revealed, but Front Page Tech, John Prosser recently came out, or I would say recently, a few months back, saying that he was using a little bit of makeup to get rid of some of the sheen off the top of his head.
Definitely.
Have you guys ever done that? Had to put a little makeup here and there?
Rene?
I have not, but I got a very kind message from a former colleague of both of ours with a link to someone saying, "Real talk, listen, all you YouTube bros, it's time for you to put." You got the same message? It's time for you to put.
I read it when you retweeted it.
Oh yeah, it's time for you to put some powder on those faces of yours.
Let's make 2019 the year of concealer for YouTube bros. Okay, listen. Yeah.
It makes me wonder if Zach had jerry rig everything. I mean, he's got the dome, right? I mean, does he? No offense, Zach.
Like, oh my, no, like having seen him in person so many times, dude is just, he came out of the factory perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. To answer the question, no, but I just had a conversation with my hairstylist this very morning about like, yeah, no, I should do it, because I used to know how to do it in my theater days. And honestly, I mean, look, you know, I have these massive bags under my eyes no matter how much sleep I get. I'm always shiny because it's always hot in here. I should have been using makeup from the start, and I haven't. So this
I was
is
gonna say you've had a little more off the sides there than usual.
well, I knew you and I had to match tonight.
See what they do.
like
She just takes off 1/3 because this is just shaved. Like there's nothing here, right? It's just she
Loving
just takes off 1/3 and this just sticks up and does.
I might switch that. I might steal. I stole this haircut from a friend of mine. That was about 3 years ago. I'm going to steal yours next.
This is commitment, man, because this grows back after 2 weeks, and then I have to go back in, and then I'm like, next thing I know, I say, okay, Darcy, let's just do the whole thing, and I get the whole hot
why
shave
is there
and everything.
no head Roomba? Can't you just put a head Roomba on? Like we're living in 2019.
Good call, Rene.
Michael, you still carrying the BlackBerry?
You know I'm still carrying a BlackBerry. What else would I be
Always
using?
the BlackBerry.
Canada
You are-
thanks you, sir.
You are like the last of a dying breed with the BlackBerry, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we don't know. We won't know until they release another round of numbers, right? But yeah, I feel like I don't see them out in person a lot. I do get.
Hey, at least they actually released their numbers.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. No, I adore it. You know who said it best was, and I think I've said this before, is Juan Carlos said it best. Juan Carlos Bagnall said he's not necessarily faster or more accurate on the keyboard. It's just more satisfying to type on. And
It's tactility.
exactly, it's just more fun. And I know and everyone's all surprised when I say it. Like it's like, wow, what a nerdy thing to focus on. It's like, yeah.
That's like
The AirPod case, right? Like open, close, magnet in, magnet out. It's like people love stuff that you can crush.
That's like me and like SwiftKey. I can't use any other keyboard out there unless it's SwiftKey.
Roger.
Like I have to put SwiftKey on every single device I get.
Personal preference.
Yeah.
It's a
TV
beautiful
set
thing.
is full of fingerprints, but he is a happy man.
Speaking of,
Yeah, go ahead, Viper.
I was gonna say, speaking of TV stuff, what did you guys think of the wall?
Oh,
Samsung.
yeah.
Oh,
So big.
Like goes like Trump's wall?
I was like,
No.
yeah, wait, hold up, what? I gotta
Just
go get
kidding.
some beer. I don't think I saw the wall. Did you see the wall, Rene?
I did. I saw. Yeah, we walked through. Russell and Lori and I walked through TV Central. It was amazing. Like all the TV stuff was amazing. Their modular micro LED panels, the LG fruit roll up television, the wall. I think. I mean, it's amazing. Like you walk in the entranceway, and literally everything, every curve, every corner is covered in TV. It's we're living in a silly era. It's just like the Jetsons look like they're horribly, passe now.
Yeah. See, I didn't see the Samsung wall, but I walked through the LG booth and I saw their waterfall array. And LG always does something wild, and so I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm at CES. And I think that's when I realized I was like too jaded for CES or something like that. Because right then I saw a woman turn the corner and take in this LG wall, obviously for the first time, and her jaw just dropped open.
The
And
childlike sense of wonder.
involuntary smile popped up. Yeah, she was like a 4-year-old all of a sudden, just so happy. And I was like, oh, this is what people's. Yeah, I get it.
So besides the main things like the wall and stuff like that people keep on talking about with CES, I wish I'd made it this year. Did either of you guys venture down to the Sands where all the up and coming kind of the Kickstarter Indiegogo kind of stuff? Did you guys see anything there that kind of piqued your interest?
I did, Rene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was it like?
Did you? I didn't want to cut you. I saw something called Print Brush XDR, I think, which is this mouse-sized object that is a handheld printer. It doesn't sound sexy because it sounds like something that just spits out like printed sheets. But in fact, you lay it on a surface and run it across the surface, and it leaves behind it whatever you're trying to print. I mean, and it's full color. It's a beautiful inkjet quality, and it looks like magic. When I saw their Facebook video, I was like, "You guys made some CGI BS." It's unbelievable.
That sounds wild.
It really was. I made an Instagram little video of it, and it's great. I suggest you watch it just to take it in. I don't know how they're doing on their goal, but they're still on Indiegogo or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Sounds cool.
Swooping printouts.
Renee, did you make your way over to the Sands? Did you see anything
No,
over there?
I only got to South Hall, Central Hall, and one other place, and then I had to peace out on CE. I was only there for a day.
Yeah, it's like it's almost impossible to see everything. I know because last year was my first year, and And when the company I went with at the time, they said to me, no, you need to just book one hall for the day. Trust us. And yeah, I was in the South Hall all day. I was there the day the power went out. I'm like,
Oh,
this
wow.
isn't normal.
Yeah. The day off.
Yeah.
Did you get rained on indoors?
No, a couple of my other colleagues did though, and we met up with them later. We had a good laugh while we were drinking and everything like that. So it was that was what everybody was talking about that day. But that was my first CES experience there that day. Yeah,
That's pretty cool for CES.
Michael, I'm curious. What was your favorite thing that you saw at CES?
It was such a non-mobile focused CES. It was so overloaded with smart home stuff, most of which just puts me right to sleep. So my favorite thing there was a hamburger.
So great. So
What?
great.
The
An award-winning hamburger.
That's exactly right. I'm not even kidding. You're familiar with the Impossible Burger, Viper?
Never heard of it. No.
It is a plant-based hamburger. It's a burger that has no actual beef in it. And at CES, the Impossible Foods company released version 2.0. It's a new formula they're using. The previous version, in my opinion, got 80% of the way there to real hamburger taste. This one, 93%. I mean, I could eat Impossible Burger 2.0 for the rest of my life, substituting every hamburger for it for the rest of my life. I'd be totally fine with that.
I have to Google this.
It's incredible. And like that gave me legitimately a feeling of excitement and a hunger for the future that nothing else at the show did this year. I mean, the next most exciting thing for me that I saw was an alarm clock, for God's sake. So I had one Best of CES award, and I said, Impossible Burger 2.0, you made me feel like a child again in the best possible way.
So if I remember correctly, they use heme. I forget the long term, heme of something or other, and it's usually found in soy roots, but not in enough quantity. So they use yeast to sort of grow enough heme to put in the burger to give it that like meaty flavor and texture. And
it has it. I mean, like Russell brought me the burger. I ate it. I was filmed. I looked like an idiot. I'm stuffing my face. And then I didn't have anything to drink. So I wandered around for 5 minutes looking for something to drink. And the aftertaste in my mouth the whole time was that of a real hamburger. Crazy stuff.
This looks amazing. I recently had to change my diet down to more vegetables and fruits and everything.
Yeah.
Not full vegan, but I've reduced a lot of my meat intake. And this
could be perfect for you.
I mean, if I could eat this whole time,
White Castle, is it White Castle? It's already selling it. It's some franchise.
Wow. Are they selling 2.0 or?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. White Castle picked it up. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I highly recommend y'all check it out. It's gonna be in grocery stores by the end of the year in 2.0.
Wow, that's what's up. So my man Jeff wants to know: are either of you guys going to San Francisco for the Samsung Unpacked event?
I will be there. I don't know if that's Renee's bag, is it?
February 20th?
I only do it. I do it like I'm a good soldier. So like I've gone with Phil to cover Samsung if he needed me anytime but you guys have such a good team now that I haven't had to do it in a few years.
Yeah. Oh, we'll miss you. And yeah, I'll be there. Any excuse to go to San Francisco, I will take even if it means flying from San Francisco to Barcelona, because that's exactly what I'm doing.
Nice.
What about
you got to imagine how so many people had to change their plans the minute that Samsung event date was. We're like, but we're on our way to Spain, not anymore.
We're sitting there like, are you serious? Are you guys watching it from afar? Are you were you surprised not to see it in New York? Like, what's the deal?
I just felt bad for you guys because I know there's going to be a ton of people trying to review that phone while they're in Spain going, oh, there's no signal. What are we going to do? Were you there? I forget, but there was this year where Samsung was not exactly spendy when it came to giving out review units. So they get the carriers to sponsor them, and they got Sprint in New York City. And there was like 6 of us standing around there going, there is no Sprint in New York City. What are they doing?
Yeah. It's always a bit of a circus. It's funny because it just feels every year, it doesn't matter. I don't know if this is true. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe we need to get somebody bigger in here. But like every year, it seems to me that it's always a rush. You're like, did you hear about the briefings? Are they doing briefing? When are they doing? Or when's the event? Are we in? Do we get you got an invitation from who? Who's your contact? All right, I'm going to give it 3 hours, then I'm going to call him. you know, it's always this very high tension thing.
There were a couple of years ago where Google had both internal and external PR. They had two agencies, and they would give like, I would talk to like TechCrunch, and they go, our embargo is here. Like, no, ours is the day before. They're like, what? What do you mean? No, call somebody. And that would happen every time. They would have no coordination between who got review units, what the embargo was.
Hard times.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna shift to a different topic real quick. I've talked about this a little bit on Twitter, but since I have you both here, it'd be interesting to get you guys' real in-person take on this. So a few times I've brought up smaller creators personally reaching out to bigger YouTubers, like YouTubers with like over 100,000 subscribers, things like that, A-listers, whatever you want to call it. So I'm curious to get you guys' take on working with smaller creators and things like that.
I think, well, I'll go since I'm not talking enough tonight. Just tell me to shut up at any point. I'm tired of hearing myself already. I'll say what I said on Twitter. Like the size of the audience is not as big a factor to me in terms of people I want to collab with. It's just a question of, can we, if we work together, make a better video than either of us could make alone?
So value.
Yeah, right. And I feel like a lot of collabs, not to get down on anybody's videos, but a lot of collabs I watch, including some of my own, I'm like, I kind of would rather have just watched your own, thing. So, I don't think the audience size doesn't really factor into it.
I thought the one you did with our friend Travis was well done the way that was done.
Oh yeah, that was a bit ago.
Like it flowed nicely. And I just thought it made sense, right? Like it was kind of a nice surprise, and then here you are on your phone, kind of thing. I can't even remember what it was about, but I just remember it made sense.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's it. It has to make sense to me. Rene, did you have a different thought on that?
Yeah, well, like I can't speak to anything on YouTube on this because I'm still starting out on this stuff. But I try to look at it in general, and I try to think, it's not really that separate. So I, for example, when I want to talk about 5G, I don't know enough about it. So I asked Daniel Bader, and then I use Daniel Bader because is a legit genius. And so when there's something, and I did that on podcasts, like with podcasts, I'd ask people to come on. And back then I'd ask like, oh, MG Siegler, he's on TechCrunch. He knows what he's talking about. Or John Gruber, he's on Daring Fireball. He knows what he's talking about. And I'd ask them, and almost always they'd say yes, just because, they weren't that used to being asked. So I'm like all in on the Viper train on this stuff. You got to ask, and you got to have like good topics, interesting conversation, and that's it.
I'm gonna weigh in here because I'm obviously on the smaller scale here, along with Viper here. We're on the lower end compared to you gentlemen. I personally have been approached by creators of my same size, maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth or out of their proposal is, maybe we can get some subs out of this or something like that. And I think that's definitely the wrong approach. You want to make sure that does it make sense? Does it is there a cohesiveness there? And is there going to be a value for both your audiences? I've had to decline a few collabs here and there from people that I'm really good friends with here and there because it just didn't make sense. And I'm also really bad with deadlines. So, and
will it make
like
good radio? I mean, that's what I want. At the end of the day, is it going to make good radio? To steal the cliche.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, that's my thoughts on it, kind of thing. And I don't think it's so much that larger or bigger or whatever you want to call it don't want to. It's just does it make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So.
And it's, I understand why people lead with that, though, right? I mean, it's not just, YouTube drills it into everybody all the time. Like, if you want to grow your audience, you got to do collabs. You got to collabs. And it's, it's true. It's a good way to grow the subscriber base. But I think you got to place the needs of the content first. Can we make something better by working together? Then let's do it. Or can we just have fun? Because people like to see creators having fun together, and that's great. When I did the collab with John Redinger, I mean, we had a ball. We took forever to say anything, but because we were just having too much fun talking, and that was.
Love the direction that he's gone recently. With
same, yeah.
I was totally blown off guard when he brought out that video and going off and focusing 100% on video again. But that's great to see, and I could definitely see the passion, right there with him again, right? So
Still, after so long, he's not burned out. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
he's not a shell of his former self. Well, you
Yeah.
too, Rene. You've been doing this for way longer than I have too.
Oh yeah, no. So so Dieter Bohn is the one who hired me. He works at The Verge now, but he was running our network when I first got hired. I'm like, do you really want to hire me? Because it's one phone on one network in one country, and there's not going to be anything to do. I mean, it's going to be weeks between any content to create. And he's like, I think you'll be fine.
Right.
So Michael, how long have you been doing this?
2012 or late 2011 is when I got started. So,
Okay.
where we were in 2019? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you back when you were Pocket nowadays.
Yeah.
And then you became the great Mr. Mobile.
Great. Use the term loosely, right? Well, it's been a while, but I don't know. When you look back on it, I mean, how long have you been doing this stuff, Viper?
I've only been doing it for a little over a year now.
Is that it? Really?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
It feels like you've got the presence of someone who's been doing it for a much longer time.
Exactly. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've only been doing it for a year, but I put out over 250 videos, so I've had a lot of practice.
That's absurd.
I mean, that's the secret. Everyone said, "What's the secret to anything?" The secret to anything is effort over time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, somebody, I don't remember who it was. Was it John recently who tweeted that, it's like, I uploaded 300 videos or something like that before the first one got more than 100 views. Or
Yeah.
I don't remember who said it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, the grind is absolutely real for so many people. And it's like,
especially in such a saturated niche that we're all in, right? I mean, everybody, it seems like everybody's tag out there is, reviews, tutorials, and blah, 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 right? And you got to find a way to differentiate yourself and maybe a presentation style, whatever. Like I'm still, I shouldn't say I'm still, but for the longest time, I was trying to figure out how to differentiate myself from everybody else out there, right? And because there's a lot of people that do it a lot better than I do, so why would you even want to spend 30 seconds?
You eat hot wings while you're reviewing, and how many hot wings you can eat is how good the gadget is, because otherwise you'll just quit eating.
Did you guys watch? Did you guys watch Hot Ones with Gordon Ramsay? Did you guys watch that?
I have not laughed that much, and I watched it last night.
Amazing.
Michael, he basically degenerates into a man who can only curse towards the end.
He didn't almost make it to the last two wings. It was amazing. And to hear Gordon Ramsay swear without the beeps is just like, my virgin ears.
Well, there'd be no show if they bleeped him. The entire last 5 minutes would be one long bleep.
Oh, for the people watching and listening, and just if you don't watch Hot Ones, just please get on that. That is one of the greatest interview. Yeah, everybody that's been on there's been awesome. I had Mark. We need to get Mr. Mobile on there.
Oh, God.
We need to get Michael on there.
I don't know if we need to put me to get my sweating face covered in.
You don't like hot food, man?
That sounds terrible.
You don't like hot food?
I adore hot food, but
he likes to eat it in the privacy of his own interview room.
Yeah, I like to hang out in my own sound booth when I'm having this.
Okay. So last year Marquette did his smartphone award, and his smartphone of the year was the OnePlus 6T. Now I kind of have an idea where Rene will go with this. But Michael, I'm curious. Did you agree with MKBHD choice for smartphone of the year, or did you think that something else was better?
I almost did, but I ended up giving my smartphone of the year award to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro.
Really? This thing?
Oh yeah. Not based on. Here's the thing. If you want to, I think he's absolutely right with the 6T in terms of a phone that I would recommend to most people. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I based my phone of the year award on which ones were most aspirational, which one made me excited again to cover smartphones, which one was trying to push the envelope, which one had freaking reverse wireless charging, gimmick though it is. The Mate 20 Pro captured my passion in a way that not a lot of phones have.
It was audacious.
Can you not agree that the software is just
utter garbage?
It is.
You over it with Nova Lantra and you hold your nose and you get through it.
So okay, hold on. So there's a question for you. When you're reviewing a device, Michael, do you go with I powered it on by accident. Do you go with what it comes with when you're reviewing, or do you throw Nova on so you're comfortable?
I used to leave every unit in stock out of box and just use it that way.
Uh-huh.
And then what happened was several generations of devices came out, and I did the same review a bunch of times. And then I was like, why am I doing this? We're all evolving. Ordinary people are more and more getting to know that, like, oh yeah, if you have an Android phone, you can kind of do what you want. And more importantly, my audience expects me to, they know what I'm going to say about EMUI. I just finished writing a script 20 minutes ago where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk again for the 20th time about how EMUI is trash.
Did you ever encounter the calendar bug?
Oh God, no. What is it?
Okay, so what it is so the company I work for, God bless him. We'll just call him Jeff. He likes to change calendar dates on things constantly. So it would leave the dates and things. For example, if he had scheduled something for Friday night and then he canceled it and made it for Saturday morning, it would still be in there. So here I am showing up to a meeting online. Nobody's here, right? So, do you know what I mean? And I've only ever
you think it's you, right? For like 3 minutes, you think it's you.
Yeah, I'm like, what did I do? And then I have to go turn on my Samsung or actually, check the actual Google Calendar, going, oh, Jeff changed it again, right? And I've experimented with it, and sure enough, that it's there, and I've turned on the permissions. I've done all sorts of testing with it, and it just drives me, because I do everything with my calendar. There's a rule in our family: if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. I was supposed to pick up the kids at 6. No, I was in the calendar. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I've never left my
kids better walk.
But do you know what I mean, though? Like that. So you never experienced that? It was just horrible. It's just horrible.
I don't use the stock, the Huawei calendar. I gave up on that, man.
I'm using the Google one, but it's because the way it interacts with the Huawei software.
No.
Anyway, it's one of my pet peeves about this thing. I mean, I love the camera, but the UI just makes me want to cry.
Yeah, you want to get rid of that.
So what do you guys think about these Portless phones that are starting to come about here?
With what? What kind of phone? Sorry?
Portless. We got the Meizu Zero, which has no ports on it at all.
The Vivo Nex 2019.
Totally thought you said cordless phone.
That's what I thought you said.
This is Retro Viper tonight, everybody.
Really?
I'll defer to Rene on the portless phone situation.
It's the rumor has it that everyone is working on this. Like I said this before, but there was apparently a Google Pixel 2 prototype with no ports. But you have to have your remote restore, your wireless restore 100%. Like an Apple Watch is fun, but they pave over the mini lightning port. So if anything goes wrong, if it bricks while you're updating, for example, you have to take it to an Apple store, and that's not convenient. And you don't want that to happen with your phone. So you got to have that tight. And the rumor is that Google did not ship the Pixel 2 without a port because it wasn't that tight. It's a real hard problem to solve. You've got to be able to DFU it or put it in recovery mode and reinstall the operating system, like do like online recovery, all these things. And it's all fun and games until someone's sitting there with a bricked phone. And then what do? They go to the Meizu store? No, it's going to be a lot of pain. So I think it's a fun experiment if you want to do like real niche phones. If you're doing like experimental small batch phones and people know it going in, like the early adopters, and they want to get a sense of the future now. But you should prepare yourself for some pain for the next 2 years until they get it really good.
The one that I've seen everywhere lately is the Vivo Nex. So this is the Vivo Nex right here. The Vivo Nex 2019. I think
the Nex.
Are you seeing that right? NEX. Nex. Yeah. And it's completely portless. It's got capacitive buttons on the side. But there's no, and it's 100% screen. Everybody's saying, well, like, where's the selfie camera? Apparently you guys will see this at MWC. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Daniel Bader, Rene, what was his tweet the other day? Did you see it about this very thing?
No, I don't remember. I don't know if I saw it. I'm looking now.
Because everyone's talking about this now. And by the way, I wrote an editorial about it in my pocket nowadays about like, oh, wouldn't portless phones be cool? I think this was like 2012 when I wrote this thing, and it's really, I no longer am passionate about it, frankly. Here we go. He says, portless/buttonless phones represent the aesthetic and functional endpoint companies think customers want, but the best designs combine form with tactility. And I think he's 100% right on that. I still love the feel of a good button. I really like a phone with a sliding switch to silence the ringer. You know,
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
can do it without looking at it. You can do it without, I don't like having to fiddle with buttons that are capacitive. Like, I don't remember what the HTC buttons were, but they had the carve outs, but they had some problems. And the whole idea of taking ports out used to be, for me, it was like, oh yeah, it'll make it easier to waterproof. Well, we've got waterproof phones that are just fine with ports in them that still have IP68 ratings. So I think it feels kind of like a stunt to me.
It's interesting seeing Vivo's advertising on so far because they haven't advertised waterproofing, and I'm going through the eight different pictures they posted on Facebook, for example, and I'm going, there's absolutely no mention of waterproofing. You think if this thing didn't have, there's not even a speaker grill. Like it uses the vibration. I can't remember what. Anyway,
Vibrates and it does bone conduction or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a bone conduction, right? And there's no mention of waterproofing, and then there's no mention of a selfie camera or anything like that because it's all screen. It's like 99% screen. There's like no bezel.
Apparently that Vivo phone doesn't even support Qi charging either. So
No, it uses a magnetic connector that goes in the back.
So like the Essential phone was going to do with its dock.
Well, it almost reminded me of the days of the mag connector on the MacBooks. Is what it reminded me.
Or like
of.
the Apple Watch is magnetic.
That's what it looks like. Yes,
yeah.
it's more round like that. It just kind of clicks on the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be cool if we didn't have Qi. These days it's like, listen, we just went through 4 years of this, like Qi and WPA fighting and what wireless standard is going to win. And I can't charge my phone on the Starbucks charging pad because it's not the right one. F all that noise. Use Qi. Just use Qi if you're going to do wireless charging. Don't, drive it forward, sure, but like no more standards, please.
Rene, do you remember there was a report a couple of years ago before the iPhone 10 came out that Apple was thinking about making the iPhone 10 portless?
I mean, like they're all experimenting with that, and there's reasons to do it because some places don't like buttons; they think they're going to be mechanical failure points. Some companies don't like them, and also you can't change them. Like you have one sort of port there; you're kind of stuck with what it is. So the ideal for everybody is just a slab, and then you use capacitive or texture vibration, like sort of like force touch technology to make people think there are buttons there.
But then it's just boring, right? Because then eventually you just have a future of nothing but slabs of glass.
So I am a huge fan of tactile interface, and I don't think we've gotten enough of it yet. Like when you look at what a Taptic engine in an iPhone can really do, or Nintendo Switch controllers, when they can make you think you're holding a glass full of ice. And like it's not that you see a glass of ice, but you move your hand around and it feels like ice cubes are moving in a glass. And there's a whole sandpaper bat, and I forget the woman's name who invented it, but it goes back years. And it turns out that we really, like our fingers lie to us. We really don't have very good proprioceptive intakes. And if you vibrate in certain ways, we feel different textures and different 3D forms. And they can start feeling like this, oh, this is sandpaper. Oh, this is glass. Oh, this is a button. Oh, this is a slider. And the future of those kinds of interfaces, like eventually the MacBook is not going to have a keyboard. It's going to have two glass panels that can be screens, or it could be like a Final Cut control deck, and you actually feel the sliders, even though they're virtual. The same way, like this trackpad is fake. You unplug the thing, it's a dead piece of metal. Plug it in, it feels like it's a button. But that'll be for everything. And if the phone can get to the point where we can make it these useful shapes, but if we need a button, like maybe Michael wants a convenience key on his phone. Maybe he wants a camera shutter, and it's like, okay, I want this part of the frame to be a camera shutter button. And then when he presses it, it feels like a camera shutter button to him. But but Viper's like, I hate buttons. I don't want to feel anything but the silky smooth sides of my phone. He doesn't have to put up with that, and you get a level of customization that physical manufacturing can never give you.
Sign me up for that future.
I know.
That's going to be awesome.
Phone Earl Grey hot.
Yeah. Tuvok goes blind and he's like, activate tactile interface.
Yes.
Camera never shows it, but something funny is happening.
It's there.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the recent I mean I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it for the Galaxy S10. But everybody's been talking about, obviously it's gonna have this weird little hole up there, or bigger hole, whatever, depending on how many cameras, whether it's the regular, the plus, whatever. Obviously the in-display and everything like that, but the one that caught my attention this week was apparently it's still going to have the headphone jack, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it does, I think that's a major win for consumers, because obviously Samsung still recognizes there's still a demand for that. in order to get people on board. What do you guys think about?
So here's the thing. I would love this. And I spoke about this with Drew earlier today on his show, but I'm going to repeat it anyway because I love the idea. Apple gets up on stage next year and says, we're removing the lightning port. We're not adding USB-C. We're removing the lightning port, but we're giving you your headphone jack back.
And everybody's heads explodes in this on the crowd.
And nobody will know what to
Like, what would you say to that?
That would be hilarious.
I just know from on my personal side with both friends and family, people that are either in tech or not, or just everyday users. I have a lot of friends and family that still have older iPhones that haven't upgraded because they like their headphone jack and they like their home buttons.
Yeah, here's the thing. From one side of the equation, I'm over it. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I have been using Bluetooth headsets for long enough. I don't care. Okay. On the other hand, on the other side of it, my dad recently asked me, like, he wanted a speaker for the boat. He's like, can I hook up a speaker to my phone and like use a speaker on the boat? I'm like, oh yeah, you can totally do that. And I ran through a list in my head of all the Bluetooth speakers that I love, and every single one of them I instantly rejected because there's no way my dad is going to have the patience to deal with Bluetooth. Not just because, he's sort of not into technology, but because Bluetooth still sucks.
Yeah,
Still sucks. And like to the point where I use the Titan security key to like 2-factor into my stuff. And half the time it just doesn't do the initial pairing because Bluetooth sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So like that sucks. And I'm waiting for the day that this drives Bluetooth to get better. I when that day comes, I will be thankful to Apple for pushing us there. Right now, I'm just annoyed at it.
Well, my thing too is that, like, I know all the HTC, well, not all of them, but a lot of them that I've had over the years, from the Dream, which was the T-Mobile G1, to a lot of the HTC Windows mobile phones, never had headphone jacks. You had to get that weird breakout cable,
right?
If you wanted a headphone jack.
That was in an era when we all had iPods, right? That was in an era.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, we didn't listen to music on our phones.
Yeah, we weren't using our phones for that. But
I did, because I came from Palm. Then I had to deal with the 2.5 versus the 3.5, and I'm just like, why is this so hard?
As a matter of fact, I remember when 3.5 first started moving into phones, in a big deal, because before that it was 2.5, and I'd be like, "You get a stupid adapter for this? Is dumb." So yeah, when headphones came to phones in the first place, I was like, "Oh, great." But I don't know. Right now, I'm much more salty about the lack of USB on things, but that's getting better. This is the year. It's going to.
Yeah, I'm totally convinced, 100% convinced. And I know you're going to just scream in your brains when I say this. Everyone is going to finally switch to USB-C, and the consortium is going to announce USB-C Mini.
No, don't do that.
Hold on. Let's stay there real quick. Renee, do you think Apple's going to switch to USB-C on iPhone this year?
No, there's too much money in the proprietary and the licensing of that, man. There's no way they'd lose that money.
So people keep saying that, but here's the secret truth. There's no Apple money in the MFI program. Tim Cook has more change in his sofa than Apple makes off of MFI, but it gives them amazing control over what everybody can do. If there's one thing Apple values more than money, it's control. It lets them make sure. And I'm using the story over and again. I apologize, but like, there were all those really angry articles about HomeKit. Why is it taking so long? Manufacturers are upset. Accessory makers are upset. Why is Apple? And it turns out Apple was just insisting on secure Wi-Fi chips, and then all the other devices got hacked, and all the HomeKit stuff was, they had a couple of security exploits, but they were mostly fine. And those could be patched, where your IP camera being broadcast live from Russia was not fixable. You had to throw it away and get a new camera. So they use MFI as a way to make sure that their standards are met, and that to them is more important than the money that comes out of it. But I think they also see that, just backing up real quick, the same team who made Lightning worked on USB-C. It's the same group of people in Apple's group, which is why they're very similar. But they just could not get USB-C done in time, and they wanted to make the iPhone 5. And Apple hates waiting. And they're like, we're not going to postpone this for 2 years just so that your committee can decide that what we're doing is the right thing after all, and screw you guys and whatever. So we're making Lightning, and shut up. And so they made Lightning and they shipped. And then USB-C is like, okay, fine. Well, USB is like, okay, fine, we'll ship the C. And it's 2 years later, and Apple's like, crap. Because they're not dealing with us. They're not dealing with a bunch of nerds who have USB-C everywhere. They're dealing with people who've bought like 3 iPhone adapters. And if they have to change those again after the dock adapters, they're going to come to your house and beat you down. Like, these are normal people who don't want to buy another cable. So they're like, well, we can't switch after 2 years. It took us 10 years to switch last time. So what's a reasonable amount of time? And it feels like we're getting to the point where if taking out the ports isn't reasonable yet, that switching to USB-C, at least on the higher end devices, will make a lot of sense.
So you think this will probably be the year that Apple finally puts USB-C on the iPhone, huh?
I don't know if it's this year because their iPhones are usually like 2 years out, and it might be that they decided to stick with Lightning when they were engineering this phone. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 years it happens.
When Apple moved to USB-C for iPad Pro this past generation, I remember being simultaneously just surprised and delighted, frankly.
Yes.
It really was just such a thing. I could finally, because I don't carry an iPhone usually, but I do carry that iPad on trips because damn if you can't find, like, it's the best tablet there is. And I love being able to charge that with the same cord I use for now my headphones, my phone, my watch dock, and my laptop. I mean,
yeah, isn't that amazing?
Did they ever state why they put USB-C or in here at all? Like, is it because of the power draw or anything like that? Like,
no, they can do USB PD through a Lightning cable. You just put USB-C on the back, but they wanted it because they started needing to attach to, if they really wanted to put the Pro into iPad Pro, they had to connect to accessories that DJs use, that photographers use, that really are primed for USB-C. The reason they didn't do it earlier too is they didn't. Well, there's a whole long story, but there's no PCI. There's internal PCI on an iPad, which is how it does the super fast read write for the SD storage. But there was no external PCI, so people were like, oh, put Thunderbolt on there. We'll drop the mic, we'll leave, and we'll be able to copy any amount of data. They didn't go that far yet, but it was just necessary for them to start supporting all the accessories they want to for not a laptop replacement, but a laptop alternative. People get super angry when you mention the
I absolutely love this thing. I mean, I thought I'd be doing more video editing on it, but I've been doing more drawing and thumbnails and just this pencil thing is just amazing, right? So yeah.
There's this guy, Rob McCallum. I've had him on the on my podcast a couple times. He's in Toronto and he does all the storyboards for like Star Trek, Pacific Rim, and he's like, and he comes from an old comic book background. Like he was a friend of Frank Quietly, did all the comic books with him, and he used to draw on paper. He's like, I'm erasing, I'm breaking through the paper, I'm gluing paper on the back of it. They want to change, I have to get another piece of paper, and now I do it all on my iPad. And I can pull over, I can erase a Vulcan here, add a Klingon there, get back in the car, keep driving, and it's amazing. And that's the kind of pros that they're building for.
Oh, you're speaking Michael's language now.
Okay, well, speaking of Star Trek, hold on, let's just go in a completely different direction. Michael,
yeah,
what do you think of Star Trek Discovery?
Star Trek Discovery is a wonderful show.
No.
Season 1 was a bit too dark for my taste. We spent a little too long in grimdark, gritty territory.
With Draco Malfoy.
Yeah. But I still got to know those characters well enough that I was really excited to welcome them back this season. And now that season 2 has started, and apparently we've decided that we're going to do Star Trek in the way that, in my opinion, it should be done.
They listened to the fans finally. Yeah.
I'm not going to say I couldn't be happier. There are things that I would still change, but man, I mean, I watched it last night. I watched episode 2, and I was like, "Oh, this is it."
I haven't watched it. It's on the PVR, but yeah.
And Michelle Yeoh getting a spinoff. I'm so excited.
I am less excited for that.
Are you? Like, I love her so much, and I hope there's material to support her. But I'm all into more different Star Trek.
I was so confused by the first season. I couldn't decide. Well, first of all, I was happy because up here in Canada, we get on Space Channel. We don't have to subscribe to it. Suckers. But I mean, I was so confused. Like, do I still want to spend my Thursdays watching this? Right. And then I watched the first episode of season 2. And I'm like, this looks like familiar territory. Right. So.
And it is. With the Michelle Yeoh thing, I mean, it's nothing at all against her at all. It's just that every time her character is on screen, we seem to, especially now that it's I don't want to go into details with the spoilers and stuff like that, but it seems like every time she's on screen, we have an excuse to have her beating someone up or otherwise being evil. And a whole series built around that and going into this place where of darkness that Section 31 inhabits. I don't know.
I'm hoping it's Deep Space Nine. That's the vibe I'm hoping for.
Yeah, so am I. Unfortunately, the showrunner or one of the head writer, I can't remember which, tweeted, "That's not what we're going for at all. We know what Star Trek is, so everyone settle down." And that made me feel better. So we'll see.
I think Discovery is actually filmed in Toronto, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Should get Rene on there.
I know.
I'll wear a red shirt. I'm not proud.
Gotta talk to our CBS Interactive friends, Rene, and get a set tour at least.
Yeah, totally.
Do it. So somebody earlier in the chat, like a few while ago, was asking about podcasting. Now, I know Rene has a podcast. I just started one myself. Michael, do you podcast?
I used to. I ran the Pocket Now Weekly for like 4 years, or 3 years. But one of these days, it would be really great to start one up again. First, I started Mr. Mobile so that I could focus on video, and I wouldn't have to do 5 different things all at once. And I'm still focusing on video. But I would love to podcast again. It would be so much fun. And now's the time to do it, right? I mean, like,
it seems to be, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like one of these days, advertisers are finally going to get the technology. There's going to be a platform that allows advertisers to see all the data they want to see and how many people are skipping 30 seconds past the ad spot. And then ad rates are just going to plummet right into the basement, and I will have missed my chance.
No, so for me, the big difference is that there's no like discovery engine the way there is on YouTube. Like on YouTube, if I watch a video about, like, let's say I see your review of the Pickle Slate, I'm interested. It shows me 3 other reviews on the side that I can then go watch.
Yes.
Where for podcasts, you don't like, I can listen to your podcast on it, but that's it. I'll never see another podcast on it, and I won't know about other podcasts. And there's the whole community thing is missing.
Right.
But there is this weird vibe. Like 2017 was the year podcasters discovered YouTube, and then 2019 is the year YouTube discovers podcasts. And I can't wait to see what happens when both those worlds unite.
Now, Rene, you do something interesting in that your content is sort of cross-platform in a way that mine definitely is not, because your podcast feed is a lot of like just the audio from your videos, right?
That was mostly because when I started doing video, it took so much time. I was doing a daily podcast. Then I tried to add video to that, and I realized that just didn't leave me any time to podcast.
Word.
But, you know, some people are just commuters and they would watch it on YouTube in the car, and they would complain that, why don't you upload the video to iTunes? But iTunes is not a good video platform. So I thought, well, I could at least give them the audio because it was similar to what I was doing in podcast form anyway. But I was trying to do a weekly podcast. I tried to go back into doing weekly podcasting, but I keep getting time crunched with like CES and everything.
Yeah, I like I said, I just started a podcasting week. I have no idea where it's going. I'm pretty excited, and I would love that video you gentlemen on at some point if you have the time. That would be cool.
That would be an awful lot of fun. I must say, Viper, having never shared the airwaves with you for this extended period of time, and having seen a lot of your videos and enjoyed them, I'm rather confused as to why I'm not being yelled at right now.
Yet.
Wow.
Michael, it's an 8-hour show every Friday. He's got to conserve his energy. So.
True enough. All right.
How about usually I'm here anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, so I gotta keep it on a low profile. But if you tune in for the first half an hour, there's usually yelling going on.
Good.
Like tonight, I was talking about the outrage over the shot on iPhone challenge, and people were pissed off, Michael, because Apple wasn't compensating the winners originally. They have since changed their mind and reneged, and now they're going to do that. But I just could not believe the outrage over this when Apple wasn't aiming for professional photographers. So, like, I already talked to Rene about this a little bit. So, what is your take on Apple's shot on iPhone challenge and them personally not going to compensate, and now they are going to compensate? What do you think about it?
I understand. Look, I'm as tired as anyone else of outrage culture. You know, I hang out on Twitter a lot. There's always someone who's really mad about something, and sometimes it's worth it, and often it's not. This particular case, I understand it. You know, I was an actor for a great many years. I have a lot of friends who are creators of all stripes, and the whole thing of like people pitching you like, hey, can you do this immense amount of work for me for free? And in exchange, you'll get great exposure out of it. Like that happens all the time. And it's so frustrating to have your work perceived like that, and to have your time and your worth basically distilled to nothing. So I get why that blowback happened. I'm really glad that Apple apparently decided that they would compensate these photographers for their product. I mean, that's fantastic.
So I understand where you're coming from, because like you said, you're an actor and that's the work that you do. Right. So if somebody asks you to do like a free marketing promotion or whatever, then that will rub you the wrong way. But my whole issue with this Apple shot on iPhone challenge is that they're not looking for actors or professional photographers. Their whole aim, in my estimation and in my opinion, They were going after the everyday Joe and Jane who happens to have an iPhone who take pictures. They were not going after professional photographers. And that's why I have a problem with the whole outrage, because Apple was not going after professional. They were just going after regular people with iPhones.
Yeah, totally. And I think I get where you're coming from on that, and I agree. And I think probably a lot of people would have been very happy to just not take any money and have their work shown on billboards. That's pretty cool too.
That's what I was saying. I was saying just getting the exposure alone from Apple.
Yeah,
That's huge, especially if you're like,
if my local restaurant decides that that's what they want to do with one of my photos to advertise their restaurant because they like my photo so much and put it on a local billboard, fine. Apple has so much money that it built a custom spaceship-shaped headquarters in the middle of a forest.
the space
It's not
donut.
like Apple's hurting.
No, they also built the forest. It wasn't a forest when they started.
Sorry, you're right. So, Apple doesn't really need the money, and I think it was probably, and I have no knowledge of this, but it was probably a pretty quick decision to say, like, well, what are the optics of this exactly? Do we stick firm and say, like, no, we're not going to pay you a penny, or do we just say, yeah, here's,
Well, my understanding is that they were always going to pay a licensing fee to the winners, but they didn't want to make it a contest for professionals, so they just downplayed
I see.
the prize stuff. And then because they've done this before and they've always paid a licensing fee for the work, but they wanted to make it like you audition for Survivor, and if we choose to air your thing on the show, on the intro show, then you get paid. But if you're just sending us a ton of audition tapes, that's because you want to be part of it.
Have they said what the prizes are this time around or anything like that? Or like, could they say?
I don't think they ever do, but they usually give what is approximate industry standard for licensing fees, I believe. Because it's not the first time they've played licensing for tons of user submitted content and user generated content in the past.
And this is what, Rene, that's really important context. And this is why this outrage machine that we're all kind of stuck in, this pain vortex, is really destructive, because like you get things get taken out of context. There's not an awful lot of thought being put into this angry 160 character, missive, and then it snowballs, right? So
it's also a matter. It's not just outrage. It's entitlement, right?
Yeah.
To me, I think it reminds me of my son from a year ago, and he's better now. Which is, Dad, I finished dinner. Can I have a treat? No, why not? Because I'm glad you ate your dinner. Go to bed. You're lucky you have a roof over your head, right? And I've had to teach him this because he hangs around with. I mean, he goes to school with a bunch of other brats. But I mean, it's the outrage and the entitlement. It's kind of like YouTube. I made something, so give me AdSense. F off. Nobody asked for it, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
It's funny. It factors into something I think about a lot. It's always funny when we talk with commenters, and we had this conversation a lot last time we spoke, Zach, about like, but companies send you free stuff, so you have to say nice things to them. And I'm like, when another thing shows up at my door, I'm like, I'm not angry about it, but I'm like, oh, there's some more work. Okay, you know what I mean? It's that, and
the first one is free stuff. The second one is wasted shelf space.
Yeah, exactly. And having to you have to force yourself out of that mindset when you start a script and when you start writing or when you start recording, because like you can't approach it from that angle. I have to remind myself every day. It's just like, wow, I'm part of a buying decision that's going to see someone to spend or hold on to $650. That's pretty huge. So, let me kind of step away from my particular breed of entitlement or burnoutedness and actually try and put this in some context. So I get what you're saying. There's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah. By the way, I saw your tweet the other day. Did you ever pick up or are you getting a standing desk?
Oh yeah, I hope that I do.
Okay.
Thanks.
The greatest thing ever. This is a standing desk that I have here right now. So
yeah, no, I've always wanted a standing desk, but I've contented myself with cardboard boxes on my kitchen island.
Again, I saw the tweet. I saw the.
Yeah.
So Rene, we have a question, Rene, about Apple TV. The Baron is asking, do you think that Apple TV will have to change now that Apple is opening up iTunes to other smart TVs like Samsung?
No, I mean, they put iTunes on Windows and the Mac didn't really change. It was just a way for them to broaden the distribution because the content was selling the device based on the content was more important than protecting the Mac. And every company has to every company has to make these decisions. Like Microsoft, do you license Exchange and for the benefit of Exchange, or do you not license it for the benefit of Office? And people within the company have different opinions on that. And eventually you have to choose what's best for your company. So it's best Apple's becoming a services company. And for services, you need eyeballs. So it makes sense to have all the TV stuff be available in as many places as possible. And it's sort of like the Google philosophy where, yeah, you can have everybody but Windows Phone can have Gmail, but the best experience for Gmail is on Android. And so Apple will everybody can have AirPlay, everybody can have HomeKit. We'll make a Tizen version of iTunes. We'll eventually make OpenGL, whatever, or WebOS, whatever the other platforms are running. And if you like it enough, you'll eventually pick up an iPhone or an Apple TV.
That's what I said when I made the video about it when it first happened. I was like, all right, it doesn't really matter as far as it relates to Apple TV about iTunes being on Samsung TV because number one, it's only going on Samsung TV that are 2018 and 2019. Yep. So you have to buy, in order to take advantage, you have to buy a brand new Samsung TV if you already don't have one. And that's probably at least 3 times more than an Apple TV. So what? Why would you do that?
And you're not going to buy one for every room in your house where you have a TV. So once you get one in the big living room and you're enjoying it, you're like, hey, I bought something on iTunes. I want to watch it in my bedroom. Don't want to buy another Samsung TV. Oh, look, it's a $200 box. I can buy it. That'll just let me watch it.
Exactly. Right.
We have a very important question for Mr. Fisher from Travis MCP in the chat there.
Oh, nice.
Did you see it there, Viper, or maybe?
Oh my God! Are you serious? Wow. That Zach, that's all you, Zach. Go ahead.
Oh wow, this is exciting already. What
is the best hair product? Travis wants to know, and I think Travis wants to know it from a point of jealousy.
No,
jealousy.
I'm an American Crew man myself.
There you go. That's what I have upstairs.
Yeah, I love that. It smells good too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But as I recall, I just tried out some other stuff that you may be hearing about in an ad spot soon. We'll see.
Oh really? Do you use any sort of beard oil or anything like that?
No, I do not. I try and keep it shorter than this. As a matter of fact, it's getting too long. Do you? You've got to condition that thing.
Yeah, I do. I put oil in this thing at least twice a day. I have beard combs in almost every room, and I have 3 in my car.
Combs in every room.
Well, because I have to. Before I go into meetings, I gotta, take care of this thing, right? Because if I don't, it's just I look like Ted Kaczynski. I look like Ted Kaczynski, or like a worse version of Jason Lewis from Painfully Honest Ted.
Oh wow!
I'm just kidding. Have you guys seen Jason lately? He's just like full blown mountain man.
You going grizzly? Yeah, no.
He hasn't shaved since VidCon, since October.
Like our own Jerry Hildenbrand.
Yeah.
Great beard going on.
You know, you guys are talking about hair, and I really can't relate because I try to keep it, nice and bald up here. We don't really do hair.
Aerodynamic.
I'm begging you, man. I just want you to grow, just try growing a beard this year, man.
There will be no elf versus dwarf arguments on this show, sir.
Oh, it's too funny. Hair care product.
It's a good look. He's good look. Stay aerodynamic, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Aerodynamic is the best. Yeah. I'll leave the hair to you, Zach, and Jonathan Morrison. You guys handle it great.
You know what? Viper, you need to work on getting some sort of sunglasses sponsorship or something like that, man.
Word.
I'm serious.
One day at a time, man. One day at a time.
I'd love to get a beard sponsorship. I think that'd be perfect.
That would be great. Michael. We all know that tech and getting kind of stale and smartphones have reached their apex pretty much. Are you excited for anything coming down the pipe this year? What are you excited for, if anything? Because I'm having a hard time finding some tech to be excited about this year.
First of all, I disagree with your initial assessment.
When
we started Mr. Mobile in 2016, that was even at that point, I was already hearing like smartphones are done. Smartphones are over. They've plateaued. They're done. They're cordless phones. They're boring. And we have had since then alternating years of like, kind of dull and whoa, weird and bizarre. Where'd that come from? We've had all kinds of stuff and a lot of it's in the details. I think we're coming up on one of the more exciting smartphone times ever with this folding stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through a lot of pain to get on the other side of it, and it's like however you feel about folding screens, but man.
Okay, so but what's the use case though?
Oh, Michael,
No,
you didn't.
I'm not arguing that they are practically beneficial as of yet.
Okay.
About to
But-
say, boy.
But I mean, once they mature, you cannot tell me that you would not find it exciting to have something you could put in your pocket, pull out, use one hand to send a text message. Then when you have a second, sit down at a bar, it folds out to the size of an iPad. You have a freaking tablet. You fold it back up, put it in your pocket. If you are not excited by that, I do not understand you.
I am, but I just like I need to know the use case. I guess I'm thinking a little bit too far ahead, but yeah.
I'm taking the same position that Rene is taking about this. Right now, it's so in its infancy that it's hard to be excited. But once it matures and it develops into something more practical, then it might have my attention.
Most definitely. And
Viper just wants to fold it into a paper airplane to throw it at somebody.
But no, I mean they are all going to be crap. They are all going to be crap for a while, right?
Until they're not,
Even
right?
the good ones, but until they're not, exactly. And like, I think it's going to be a really fun journey to get there. Because where else do we have? Like, I mean, like tablets we are not at the cusp of anything interesting in tablets until Google figures out how to do Chrome convertibles.
I mean, let's be
picture
fair.
this, though,
I mean,
like a book, like an actual book that has pages, but they're all flexible OLED pages, and each page is a separate app.
well, let's
You
be
flip Instagram, you flip Facebook.
let's be completely fair to Apple. I mean, they technically with the new iPad Pro, they do already bend.
Oh, my
You
God.
could have gone for iPhone 6, but you went with the more recent one. I appreciate that.
Oh, Lord. Go sit in the corner. Jeez. Oh, Lord.
I mean,
They just don't fold back, is what you missed.
Mine's fine.
But that's the thing. Like we're there's so much more yet to be built. There's so much more refinement yet to be had. As much praise as I've heaped on the iPad tonight, I still think the Pixel Slate is the future, and the iPad is not. Not these products in particular, but like you hook up the Pixel Slate to its keyboard dock, and you have a device that responds to a trackpad just as readily as it does a touchscreen input. Then you can pull that clipboard off, and it's a tablet. Like that's amazing in concept. The execution sucks, but refining the execution is just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Wearables are exciting. We have a whole new chapter of Wear OS happening. Google with this weird fossil spend. That's exciting. You have companies like Motive building things you can wear on your finger that shouldn't exist. Like you shouldn't be able to fit a battery in there. That's amazing. We have Nike with these shoe track. Like there's so much cool stuff happening that it's hard not to be. I have sunglasses across the room that have speakers built in. You know what I mean? Like this is a nutso time.
You
So
have
I'm
a
not-
lithium-ion vest.
Yeah.
Speaking of lithium,
Yeah, it's exciting. Go ahead, Viper. I'm sorry.
speaking of lithium ion, when are we going to get this graphite battery tech mainstream? Or when are we going to get new battery tech? Period.
Solid-state batteries, fuel cells. It's a huge competition.
I mean, we're years away from the next breakthrough on that still, aren't we?
You drove the hydrogen car, though.
I did drive a couple hydrogen cars.
Nice.
Very exciting.
Ooh, speaking of cars, Michael, how's the Tesla life treating you? I know you have a Tesla, right?
I do not.
Oh, you don't? I thought you did.
No, I have a reservation for one. But they've been calling me to buy it, and I've been, as long as I live in Boston, it doesn't make sense to own
Me
a car.
too.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So are you on the reservation list as well?
Yeah, and they keep calling me saying, test drive? You want to test drive? How about a test drive?
Is
I'm
the
just
Tesla
like,
dealership up by the airport the only one in Montreal?
maybe,
The one
yeah.
off just off the Dakar there.
Yeah, it might be. There might be one downtown as well. I'm not positive.
Yeah.
I just want to see if Tesla, like, when I buy a car, I want to use it for like 5-10 years. And I just, based on Elon alone, I don't know if Tesla's going to be around.
I see them
fast.
everywhere every time I go to Montreal, so I thought they were more popular out there.
So there was an Uber service that just used Teslas and only went to the airport.
Really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a local car rental company that's really small, and they exclusively rent Teslas. I did a video with their cars. I borrowed their cars for a while to do like a 5 things you didn't know about Tesla video. They're all over the place here, almost as much as in San Francisco. I would love one. It would be really great. But honestly, there's so much public transit opportunities. There's so many Zip cars around, Lyft, Uber. I understand why the new generation is not buying cars en masse. It doesn't make much sense when you think about everything you have to spend to maintain one.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Until you
I
move
mean,
to the suburbs.
Unless, yeah.
especially for like an urban, especially for an urban area like Boston.
Oh,
Yeah,
exclusive.
a
Forgive
car.
me. I thought it and didn't say it. If you live in a city. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
live in somewhere like anywhere other than a city, of course, for God's sake.
Right.
Yeah.
So Michael, Rene tells us that they're sending you to Spain, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I go every year, right? I'm there for Mobile World Congress every year. That's the show to be at if you want to cover mobile tech.
And if you want good ham.
Yeah, accurate.
Michael, have you ever been to an Apple event?
Never
Never?
in my life.
Wow.
Nope.
Is that by choice or?
It is not by choice. No, I couldn't even. I was trying to make a joke about it, but I couldn't. No, I've never had a relationship with Apple, and to be honest, I've never tried that hard to have a relationship with Apple. I should change that, and I just haven't. And it would be good to do so. I haven't gotten around to it.
If he goes to Apple events, I get to go to MWC.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how Michael's not over 1 million subscribers yet. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a slog, right? You guys know. We all know it, right? It's not. There are no shortcuts. There's doing the work and chipping away at it, and especially if you want to build an audience full of real people and not an audience full of bots and throwaway accounts.
Mm-hmm.
You should just have Drake on more often. I think that's the way to cure everything.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, but you're right, Michael. The grind never stops, man. It never stops.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's cool. Would you say you've done 200 videos or something like that?
Amazing.
Over 200 videos. Yep.
Michael, do you do your own thumbnails, or do you have someone on your team that does them?
The thumbnail is the only thing that I don't do as far as YouTube goes.
They're freaking beautiful.
That's our man Jose on the graphics team.
Yeah.
Like they're very. There's nobody else like this. So the lines are very like when I see, like I know that's a Mr. Mobile.
Yeah.
Can I borrow Jose? Can I borrow him?
A Mr. Mobile joint.
Well, it's not. That whole design language is something we came up with when we built the channel to begin with. Like that's part of a whole design team that we worked with and sat in a room for 2 days and like I got asked questions like, "What kind of animal am I?" And I was like, "David, I can't have this conversation," but it led to this amazing visual concept that really worked very nicely.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I just need to borrow Jose for a week.
There was a little Kirk in there. I love the way Michael said that because it was just a little touch of Kirk in there.
Spock.
Oh man,
That's extraordinary.
That's extraordinary.
They were all on last week, and I watched 1, 2, and 3. It was great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean 1 was, but
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you got to watch 2, 3, and 4. That's the trilogy.
or as my kid calls it, the one with the whales.
Oh yes, Star Trek 4: Save the Whales. Rene,
I have
you
a
and
soft
haven't-
spot for one. I still have a soft spot for one.
The next time, Rene, you and I are in San Francisco, we must go on a Star Trek 4 filming locations walk.
Yes.
I do every time I go out there, but you have to come out with me.
And we'll force Kessler to come with us for no good reason, just to be there.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you guys ever watch a channel, Adam Wu?
No.
The
No.
Daily Woo. He's done a lot of these, like he went to like where the Planet of the Apes was filmed, just outside of Los Angeles there, and like what it looks like now. Check them out. Those videos are probably 5, 6, 8 years old on YouTube, but they're really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I will check him out.
He's done a bunch of Star Trek stuff, a bunch. Adam Wu, the Daily Woo. It's WOO. Just type it, you'll find it.
I don't know how those videos are popular because I always thought movie locations I could not be less interested in like where something was. Who cares? And then I like found where they filmed a lot of Star Trek 4, and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually here.
It feels like the Die Hard episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine every time. Nakatomi Tower, Nakatomi Tower. Take a photo of me. This is where he went through the window. Take a photo of me. This is where he took off his shoes. Take a photo of me. That's exactly how I feel.
I recently watched Venom, and I have to wonder. I'll have to ask El Jefe or Jeff at El Jefe Reviews about this because Venom takes completely. Apparently in San Francisco, and I'm wondering how many spots he may recognize or that were actually real spots there within the movie, right? So
yeah, is it shot there or
that's the place setting in San Francisco,
Yeah,
so I'm assuming it was.
All the X-Men were done in Montreal, and I recognize nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like when Fringe was on the air, it was set in Boston, but it was filmed in New York. So they'd be like, yeah, we're at South Station. We don't see him. I'm like, there is not a single brick in South Station. You are not at South Station.
Lies.
Do you guys remember the show? Oh man, it was so long, and it's the show was actually called Viper. It was with the Viper car that would transform.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was filmed
Yes.
here in Calgary. All of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that show was awesome.
And just outside the set's still there with remember how the red car turned to the gray thing, and
Yeah.
They had 2 months of summer to film it every year, and they
Right.
made the most of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bring it
so
back. Bring it
there's-
back.
But there's several scenes where you can see different downtown spots of Calgary and everything like that. It's really wild. So
Love it.
All right, so I got a question. I think I know Renee's answer, but if I'm wrong, correct me, Renee. But Michael, what is your favorite tech event that you go to every year or whatever? Or
Favorite tech event every year? That's a really good question. And I think the answer is simple. I mean, I really do. I think it's a tie for work, for actually getting interesting stuff out of it. Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. That's my show. CES has turned into all smart home and washing machines. IFA in Germany is washing machines and blenders and one phone. But Mobile World Congress is where there's still mobile tech, and it's still so exciting, and it's just an avalanche of phones and related stuff. It kicks butt. I love it. And then it's just a fun time is Google I/O because they host it outside, and you get to hang out in Northern California, and it's beautiful.
I wonder the look on your face last year when Google Duplex was doing its thing. Oh man.
When Duplex, yeah. Oh, that was crazy. That was weird to be there for. That was definitely a strange.
you guys are all just sitting there going, "Okay, so this is what's Skynet. This is how it begins."
Yeah, it was crazy. There's like this stadium full of people, roughly half of whom are just transfixed and excited. The other half are like terrified and put off, and a bunch of Googlers like proud and look what we did. And it was a very strange mix of conversations I heard in the press room after that.
Renee, am I right in assuming that your favorite event is the Apple event, or is it another event that you go through?
I like WWDC because it feels like when we get all the new toys. Like it's not the atoms, but it's the bits, and it's a week long. So I mean, some people fly in, fly out for the keynote, but I like it because the whole community, since Macworld ended, the whole community comes to WWDC, and you just walk around. And since it moved to San Jose, it really is like everywhere. Like all the people you talk to online or you see are just in town for a week, hanging out, having fun. And they're good at having like a bunch of events, like Gruber throws his party and Dalrymple throws his party. And it's a week long festival of fun.
Oh, I didn't know there were like parties thrown by media folks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do like live podcasts, and then like there's a a Mac Rumors mixer, and there's always like fun stuff going on.
That's cool.
And I think the animation museum tries to time their fundraiser with it. And then there's like Core Sushi, where everyone goes for sushi. And there used to be the Brazilian barbecue the night before, where everyone would get so sick on meat they couldn't show up to the event the next day. But it really is like, it's like the Apple community comes together for like 1 week a year, and it's a lot of fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. So last week I asked, okay, Renee.
No, I was gonna say, most people don't even have a ticket to the event. They just come to hang out for the week, which is a huge blast.
That's the way to save money. There you go. So I asked Marquez last week what his favorite piece of tech was currently, and he told me the iPad Pro. I'm interested, Michael. What's your favorite piece of tech that you have on you?
Man, Viper, you got to pre-interview me, man. I got to think about this.
Well, okay. While you think about that, Renee, what's your favorite piece of tech that you use right now?
It's going to sound like a dumb answer, but it's mostly because of the potential I see in them, and that's the AirPods. And I know like many manufacturers are making those, but the idea that I already have this thing in my ear that I can use to control my phone or my watch, I can use Siri on it, and it's just going to get better because there's new versions coming, and Siri will be onboarded, and eventually Apple Music will just stream to it, and it'll be able to do everything that pretty much everything my watch can do, but it'll be just a little thing I stick in my ear. And that's sort of like, we went from having mainframes at work and desktops at home to laptops we traveled with and desktops at home, to phones that we went sometimes back to our laptops, and then watches that we could go sometimes back to our phones. And now we're getting stuff we can put on our body. And it's just a continual march technology towards it can do less things, but it still does important things frequently enough that they're useful, and they get in our way less. Like we don't have screens in front of our faces all the time, and that's sort of like the tech optimist, the futurist in me is very happy with that kind of stuff.
That's a good answer, man. AirPods are legit. I love AirPods. All right, Zach. While Michael's thinking about it, Zach, what is your favorite piece of tech that you're using right now?
Well, I got two. Yeah, my Note 9.
Okay.
Recently switched back from the Mate 20 Pro, and it's just because the software is driving me nuts. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get ready for the next, for the Galaxy S10, and then I realized they're using a whole different UI on there. Like it's no longer Samsung experience. But anyway, Note 9 and the iPad Pro.
Michael, you ready for me?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna. It's kind of an ecosystem of products, but the newest one is the one that I've been the most taken with recently, and I mentioned it a second ago. The Bose frames. I mean, they're so strange. They're sunglasses. They're sunglasses with built-in speakers. So
Are they bone conduction?
They are not bone conduction. They are just conventional speakers, but engineered so precisely and so tiny that they fit in the arms of these sunglasses.
We're gonna see a video on this.
You will, yes, next week.
Ooh,
and
awesome.
Frankly, they are, they're a little chunky, they're a little wide, but the sound quality, Bose I saw them at South by Southwest a number of months ago. They blew me away then. They continue to blow me away now. And Bose has just built this strange world where people with enough money to buy Bose things can have not just QC35 that we all love, but when you come home, you take those off and you put on the toilet seat. The Bose soundware, right? That sits on your shoulders and like pipes sound into your ears so you can still be plugged into your world, but you can hear this. And then when you go out and it's sunny, you put on these Bose frames. And I don't know how well these additional things are going to be selling, but this is another example of this crazy world we live in.
They're Bluetooth, right?
Yeah, they are. And we just have umpteen options for every use case. And it's absurd.
We need a full-on with the toilet seat and the sunglasses, a Bose Elton John outfit.
I need to do
just fully decked out in Bose
and soundwear. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, I might do that actually.
That'd be amazing.
That sounds really wild. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, none more Bose, Michael.
The Bose sound wave. You said sound frames, right? Okay.
Just frames, Bose frames.
Yeah, frames. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to filming that. That's going to be tough, but we'll get there.
They look like regular sunglasses. Cool.
Wow.
But they don't sound like regular sunglasses.
Yeah. Plus, you can't trust the marketing material, right? That people are photographed from a very specific angle.
That just blows my mind. I'm looking for some sunglasses that sound good.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Do you have any noise canceling sunglasses, sir?
Yeah, right.
Walk into a sunglass hut. I need a polarization, and they have to sound good.
What? Yeah, right. Nose pads, polarized glass, good.
Do you have any with Atmos? Yeah. Can I get some sunglasses with Atmos?
What's the max dBs you can pump out of these sunglasses?
Do you want GBs or DBs, sir? More GBs. More DBs? Okay.
So Michael, what's your is that Bose video your next one you're working on, or are you working on something in between?
And something in between, just a really quick thing that I dreamed up very rapidly. This, the Honor View 20 has come out. This $500-600 smartphone that's basically a Mate 20 Pro, but cooked down into an Honor phone. And I thought comparing that to a OnePlus 6T would be an awful lot of fun. And I got about halfway through my script and discovered that was a really bad idea, but it's too late to stop now. So here it is. So that'll go up, I think, tomorrow or Sunday or something like that.
I felt like that about my recent the privacy video I did right before the iPad mini one. I'm just like, I wrote it, I filmed it, I was editing it. I'm going, oh, no one's going to want to watch this.
How did it do though?
I mean, it's okay. The privacy videos never do great, but I feel like, it's a worthy subject to talk about.
Definitely it is. Was it well received?
I get. I mean, the biggest question was, Apple keeps talking about privacy, but they get paid like $8 to $12 billion by Google to make them the default search engine, and are those tenable positions?
Yeah, that's a good discussion to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we all, and I think we can all relate to this. Maybe like, did you ever feel like after you've worked on a video for long enough, it kind of doesn't matter how good it actually is. It always seems like the worst thing you've ever done right before you hit the publish button.
So my art teacher, when I did art school for a very long time, and one of my favorite teachers said you have to take the paper away, because any artist given their druthers will sit there drawing on that thing until it is unrecognizable. And the key of the skill of a good agent or a good friend or a good editor was grabbing that piece of paper and pulling it away before you start ruining it.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I get into over editing, I steal a Navy expression called polishing the cannonball. Which sounds lewd and suggestive, but it is not. It just refers to needlessly refining a firing solution. It's already good enough. The torpedo is going to hit the target. Stop polishing the cannonball. Just shoot it.
I love that.
All right, so Michael, you surprised the hell out of me about an hour ago, or whenever you said it. When you said you watched my videos, I had no idea. So I'm curious, what other YouTubers do you watch?
Oh man, see, I'm so terrible at watching YouTube videos. Rene will tell you. Every time Rene posts a video, I'm like, I need to watch that. I'm interested in that. 2 months later, I'm like, Rene, I never watched this video. I'm very sorry.
That makes me want to make better videos, so it works.
It's not that, right? It's like I'm friends with some of the most gifted creators on YouTube, in my opinion, and yet this sounds very cliched and dumb, but after 12 hours of a day of building YouTube videos, I don't do it recreationally, and that hurts me in some ways. I'm not able to steal cool techniques that I see on other videos and stuff. So but when I do, the usual suspects, of course, get Marquez in there, get the Johns, Rene when I remember. But what's nice is that there's always someone in the suggestion feed. LGR's got lazy game reviews when I want to have a little nostalgia dive. That's an awful great time. And then I love the up and coming creators, so I watch an awful lot. Jacqueline is doing great for herself.
Yes, she is.
She has too many letters and numbers in her screen name, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Nothing but Tech 88. And while we're talking about Crystal, she's wonderful. Not a lot of people that you haven't heard of before. In other words, when I have a second, I hit the usual suspects.
But are there any categories outside of tech you watch? Like, for example, for me, my sub feed is full of the usual suspects, we'll call it, like you say, plus everybody that's kind of up and coming, and the smaller creators like myself, because we all support each other, as you know.
Sure.
But then outside of that, dash cam videos. That's my thing. Not
Really?
Russian. I have to watch US or Canadian because I have to know where these people are so I can avoid these cities. But I mean, that's no, I'm serious, because that's my thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Calgary, and I'm glad I don't drive there anymore, right? And so that's my thing. Is there anything outside of tech you watch? We would never thought of. Like, do you watch fire-based cooking or something like that? Or
what's crazy, man? I don't just say this to be contrarian. I don't particularly like YouTube. I don't like consuming it. If I have free time, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch a Netflix show or a Star Trek show, play some Nintendo Switch. But most often I'm reading or I'm listening to podcasts. Those are the things I just consume voraciously. If I'm watching YouTube, it's usually by accident. And it's so weird for a creator to say it, and that makes me a pretty shitty member of the community, frankly, because there's 99% of content out there I just haven't seen. I mean, Viper, even you, I started watching your stuff because you came up in our endless conversation last time we hung out, Zach.
Yeah, with Jason there. Yeah,
with Jason, which was a fantastic time. But otherwise, I never would have discovered it, right? So it's like it's.
I think what I said is I said, Michael, you got to check out this guy, Viper, a friend of mine. He just continuously screams at the screen, and it's amazing.
You have to watch that. Somebody tells you that, you have to watch that. That's hilarious.
The energy, but no.
I love that energy too.
Appreciate it.
I'm trying to decide what it reminded me of, and I almost came to it. I'll let you know when I finally remember. You remind me of someone very specific.
Was it a high school gym teacher? I was gonna say drill instructor, but I know you weren't in the army.
God. That's funny.
So Rene, outside of tech videos for yourself, like, do you watch any other categories? Like, is there anything?
Yeah, so I mentioned this on Twitter the other day, and I got blowback for it that I wasn't expecting. Is that I don't, because I create so much stuff. I'm just writing about tech all the time. I don't listen to it because like my brain just needs something different. So like my favorite podcast is right now it's John August and Craig Mazin Script Notes, because it's about writing for movies and TV shows, which I don't do, but writing is universal. And like I learned so much from it. And I'll watch things on videography just by people who are like hardcore video. Or I love that there's this Canadian channel, you probably already know it, AVE.
Yeah.
This guy who nobody knows where he's from because he sounds like a Quebecer who spent time in Winnipeg, and he's like a miner who traveled around, and he does teardowns. Like if iFixit ever wanted to make $1 million, they'd partner with this guy. He's this grizzled. I got this thing which is a chucher, and that's what people does tell me I got to make videos for. And he sounds like he's 100 years old, and he's like tearing down drills and explaining why bridges collapse. And it's
I've seen
the most entertaining thing ever.
You got the impersonation down, man.
We were in an old mining cabin, and the suitcase started vibrating, and nobody wanted to pick it up, so we all just walked out and left it there. And it's just it's beautiful. And so I try to watch, like I watched the Gordon Ramsay chicken wings thing, and just anything that's fun but lets my brain do something completely different for a while.
I have to watch Philip DeFranco every day. Like I never miss a PDS. Is he still called PDS? I don't know. But I never miss any of his shows at all. So
I've watched him, and then I've wondered why people complain about the speed of my talking, because I think he talks like twice as fast as me.
he literally cuts every time he takes a breath. Like I watched how he does his video thing, and I understand why he does it, because sometimes I breathe heavy as well in my videos. So I understand why he does the cuts, but I can see why it's annoying. Yeah,
I do that in my voiceover. I take out probably half the breaths that I take.
Yeah,
it's really distracting to listen to if you're me, and it's just like it's like the phone.
Right.
You're like Trump there.
Yeah. A lot of inhale, man. Yeah.
All right, Michael, I gotta ask, man. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you since I have you here. The swag, man. The Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile swag. The constant dressing up, the vest.
Oh,
how did that all get started? Because most people in the tech space, the IT space, we kind of dress down. We don't really dress up too much unless we really have to.
I swear he probably wears a vest to bed.
You are 24/7 swagged out to the nines all the time. So where did that come from, Michael? How did that get started, man?
You said it. You said it already. I mean, we started the channel, and I was like, listen, I don't want to do another channel where I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm shooting stuff on a white surface in a clean bedroom. I wanted to do a different style.
I'm gonna take off my hoodie. I'll be right back.
Well, no, it's a custom hoodie. No, they're both. You guys are good. You guys. It was just me, being a contrarian, and I was like, listen, the channel needs to stand out visually. We can do that with graphic design. Also, when I was at Pocket Now, guys, I was a poorly dressed attendee at every press event. And I will never forget one day at the Moto X launch or something. I tweeted, I kind of looked around me at the press pool, and I was like, I tweeted, fairly certain I'm the only media person here wearing cargo shorts. And Florence Ion, who used to work with us at Android Central, and who I know from a lot of other things, who's a wonderful person, just tweets me back with one word: Michael. I think it was at that point that I started like reevaluating, like maybe I should. And Jaime Rivera would always show up to press events wearing a nice suit, and what do you know? People took him seriously than they might otherwise do. And I was like, that's interesting. So when we started Mr. Mobile, I was like, you know what?
I'm gonna wear pants.
Mr. Mobile wears pants and also vests. And it just became part of the style of the channel, man. And I thank you for reconfirming that it works, because I showed up. I was like, well, at least I'll put on a vest here, and then maybe it'll be fine. And
it goes with the whole Mr. thing, it's like you straighten your tie and it's Mr.
Right. I think if I ever went to a press event, you would probably be one of the easiest people to recognize.
Well, I'm not the easiest person to find in a crowd. I'm pretty short, so I got to do something to stand out.
Well, it's working, man, because
thanks, man.
No doubt. Oh, man.
Can you explain, while we're on clothing for a second, and by the way, I have 15% battery left, so I'm not long for this world. Can you explain the branding on your own chest, sir?
Oh, man.
Oh, immediately. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I feel like I should be picking up on this, and I'm not yet.
No, unless you watch like pretty much all my videos, you probably won't know. But all right, so funny story. I did a video review on the Galaxy S9 Plus because I had it back. I had it when it first came out. I did a review on it. When I got to the part where I was talking about the camera, the autofocus kept hunting so bad that it was pissing me off. So in the video, I'm like, Samsung, because the autofocus hunting on Samsung phones is like a constant problem on all of them, it seems like. So I'm like, Samsung, you need to fix this problem, not immediately, immediately. I made up the word right then and there in the video, fix it immediately. And that's where it was born.
That is fantastic.
And just carried on for months and months. And we kept on bugging Viper. And when I say we, I mean like his audience and us in the community and his friends and everything. We're like, you need to put that on a shirt immediately. Right? And he finally did. I bought a shirt and a hoodie. They're both upstairs being washed. But I mean, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's terrific.
I want to pick one of those up. Let me know where I can do that if they're still on sale. I'm gonna get
absolutely.
The link is already in the chat. El Jefe is already on top of it.
God, Jeff, you are amazing, man. Yep, that's where it is, right there in the chat.
Give the man a discount code at least. Come on.
Oh man,
no need.
I don't even know how to do all that yet. I need to start doing something with the merch. So I haven't done anything since I put everything on there. So I need to work on that. But yeah, I just made it up in the middle of a video, Michael, and somehow it became its own thing.
I love it when that happens. That's
amazing.
Great.
That is great. Thank you for asking, man. Thank you for asking.
Of course.
I got a question for you. How did you come up with the name Mr. Mobile?
Oh, I didn't actually. That was a placeholder name when we were building Mr. Mobile. When I came aboard first at Mobile Nations, Rene's and my friend and business associate Kevin, Crackberry Kevin.
Ooh,
he was like, well, we need a name for this project. We're not going to call it this, but just a place. When we launch Mr. Mobile or whatever, and we spent days trying to figure out another name. And I mean, we had hours just going through names, seeing what's owned, what's not, what works, what doesn't. And I was finally like, guys, listen, Mr. Mobile speaks to everything I want to be about. It's easy, it's catchy, it's a little tacky, but that's all right. Let's just do it. And we did it. And I'm really pleased that we did because it seems to
it just comes right off the tongue, man. Mr. Mobile. It's so natural. You made it work so well, man.
First name, Mr. Middle name is a period. Last name, Mobile.
So that brings up a very interesting question for you, Mike. If you weren't doing mobile tech, what would you be doing on YouTube?
Probably the thing that I was doing already. I have a channel with my dad, actually, that I started back in 2006, which was basically just very short. In 2006, we shot 15-second videos with no audio at less than 360p because that's the camera we were using.
You invented Vine.
And my dad is very skilled at making model ships and boats and other vehicles, and I would film them to the best of my ability. Throw in a couple sinking Titanic models and an aircraft carrier that can launch and recover model airplanes. People show up. And that was actually a YouTube business that was doing pretty well before I ever got into tech. So
I honestly thought you were going to say voiceover work.
That's what I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That was what put the bread on the table for
you could.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for asking though, because I love saying that because that channel is still live and Dad and I still do a couple videos a year and I don't get to talk about it much. So it's pretty great. I want to know what Rene's answer to that question is, frankly.
I was about to say, Rene, well, if you weren't doing Apple, what would you be doing?
So I was doing product marketing for enterprise database software, and that was as exciting as it sounds, like writing press releases and being on the other side. I was literally on the other side of the fence talking to media people all the time, and I'd probably still be stuck doing that. And I enjoy this way more.
Yeah. Wow. I forgot that. That's
crazy.
You crossed the border in the opposite direction as most of our friends do.
Yeah. And it's great work. And I know why people do it because it's dependable. These are huge companies. They pay really well. It's all grown up. But man, selling someone a database is not the same as, getting to do all this.
No, it's not.
Can I ask, Viper, do you mind if I flip your question on Rene real quick? Because I legitimately don't know the answer to this.
Go ahead.
Vector, Rene.
Yes.
I've asked you this before. I don't remember the answer. We sometimes drink when we hang out. Where did Vector come from?
So I was doing the iMore Show podcast, and I wanted to do, and that's a panel show. It's very much like Mac Break, where we have like 3, 4, 5 people, or Twit. We have like 3, 4, 5 people discussing it, and I wanted to do an interview show, and that's what it originally was. Like I had a whole bunch of different people, like very nicely, like Ryan Block and MG Siegler and Gruber. They all agreed to be on, and I didn't have a show, so I called it like iMore Special Edition at first or something. And I threw it up in the iMore feed. Then I'm like, no, I really need. It's just confusing to have different stuff going on. I need a name for a show, so I made like a list of 10 names that I thought sounded cool but weren't really specific to anything, so that I could eventually branch out beyond Apple if I wanted to, because it seemed like there were so many interesting things going on. I didn't want to be stuck to one company associated brand. And I went through and just tried them out. Thought before I did marketing, I did graphic design, so I always like try to design something to know if I like it or not. I don't like the word on the page doesn't mean much, but if I can make a logo and make an album art and make something, then I can tell how it breathes. Yeah. So I made a bunch of them, and Vector was the one that spoke to me, so I went with that.
Nice.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
It's last in the list of anything alphabetical, so I wasn't really smart about it, but
hey, you made it work, man. You made it work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Michael.
Yes. Whoa.
I got a very important question for you.
Oh, we're right up on top of things. Yeah. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, we got to go vibrate tomorrow for this one. So you might want to think long and hard before you answer, though. Now, according to a certain Flossie Carter, he is the real Captain Kirk. So I'm wondering, what day you, Michael Fisher?
Oh,
yeah.
Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Here's my thing. He can have Kirk, and he would do the Kirk name proud. First of all, Flossie Carter, I first met him at a BlackBerry event, and I didn't expect to stand in the middle of that floor surrounded by people talking about Star Trek for like a half hour straight. And we did, and it was the most enjoyable time. What a gem of a dude he is. So he can have Captain Kirk. I don't want to steal Captain Kirk from him. As long as I get to be Picard.
But does he get the Calvin Kirk? Like, which Kirk are you giving him at this point?
Fair point. Right. I feel like Calvin Kirk is kind of not something you give to someone as a gift. It's something you leave on someone's porch and then run away. No offense to that timeline, but yeah, I'm a Picard man myself.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that? I guess that there's a new series with him coming out this year, or is it this year?
There is, later this year. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. Not because I think there's going to be anything wrong with it, just that the stakes are so high. Yeah. Discovery can do whatever it wants. If Discovery screws up, it's Star Trek, but it's Discovery. So I'm like, whatever. If you screw up Captain Picard, I'm gonna my whole childhood is gonna be.
I think as long as you got Patrick Stewart in there, you're good to go. I mean, anything.
That's what we said about Nemesis.
True. That's true. It's true. It's true.
If only we had 2 shows to talk about Nemesis on.
Yeah. I hate to break up the flow, gentlemen, but I've got a dying battery and a public transit system that's telling me it's the last bus soon.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My computer's waiting.
That's right. It's almost 10 o'clock out there, hey?
Yeah, 9:56.
Well, I don't want to hold you guys up. Thank you for joining me tonight. I definitely appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
I had a blast. This was a lot of fun. I'm really sorry, by the way. I tend to talk too much in general, so I'm sorry.
No one's gonna be upset when it's your voice, Michael.
If I had a voice like that, yeah, I would talk more.
You guys are too kind. I'm so tired of my voice.
Crazy, man.
Viper, seriously, this was great. Zach, it was awesome to see you again.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, man.
Really, really a lot of fun.
No doubt. It was a pleasure having you on, man. Anytime. You can come back anytime, dude. You and Rene.
Thank you, man. When I start a podcast, you had best be on it. I keep promising to do it, but we'll see.
So like I said, I started my podcast this week. I'm probably gonna do the first episode this weekend, but at some point I might come asking, knocking at your door, you and Rene.
I would love
anytime,
that.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
If this summer calms down, that would be amazing.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Gentlemen, have a great weekend.
Have a good night. Thank you again so much.
No problem. You guys take care.
Bye, guys.
All right, Mr. Zach, I have to step away for a second, so you take charge. Technically T, you got the link. Stop waiting, Technically T. Somebody tell Technically T he has the link for a reason and to use the link that I gave him. But I'll be right back.
Go do your thing, man. Okay, so I'm gonna field any questions because about a week ago, last Thursday, not yesterday, but the week ago, so 8 days ago, I did a quick live stream on my live channel. I answered some questions where I've been, what's been going on, this and that. So if any of you guys have questions right now about what's going on my end and everything like that, and yes, I promise there is a video coming out this weekend. There's a video coming out finally. So how you doing there, podcast? That's such a loaded question. So things are better. I'm in a better place mentally. I'm in a better place physically. I'm still waiting to hear back from the doctors and everything like that about getting on the bariatric program there, but I've already started to cutting out the crap. I'm walking an hour every morning on the treadmill, and then I'm trying to do some light yoga at night. But I'm giving up tonight to be on here. So, but that's kind of a summary. So thanks for asking, Bandrew. Appreciate it. So, yeah. And I still, you want to hear something, Bandrew? I still haven't set up the new microphone yet, but I'm hoping to get it set up this weekend to record another video. So, yeah, the Vyp Drive podcast is really good. I found it the other day on what do you call it? It's on Spotify. It's definitely on there. It's not on Google. It's on Spotify. It's on a bunch of other ones though. So it's on Spotify, which is a good one there. Wow, I'm such a bad host. I don't know what to talk to you guys about. So we've gone through a lot of things today. Mr. Mobile and Rene Ritchie on the same night tonight. That's crazy, man. Tech for Needs says you're awesome. My sister guest by trust hit me up. Yeah, so there's a lot to it. So I mean, you can go in for the bariatric surgery and just shrink down your stomach and away you go, or you can go through the 18-month process that I'm going to go through, which is going to basically reteach myself how to eat properly and get my body properly, eating at the proper times and everything like that, and not consuming so much crap or anything like that, so that when I go in for the surgery, it's not such a shock to the system and everything like that. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting process. So yeah, it's scary, but it's but it's also very exciting. So it's like a 50-50 thing. Are you back to work daily? Yeah, I mean, I haven't missed any work or anything like that for the company I work for or anything like that. So yeah, we got some really awesome painkillers upstairs, which thankfully I haven't taken too often. I haven't become addicted to or anything like that. But if I do get uncomfortable there, I can just pop a couple of those and away we go. So yeah, I'm glad that things are on their way there. So sorry guys, I'm just gonna make sure this is focused in there. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I don't know if it's Tylenol 3 without the stuff that makes you sleepy. Gino says I don't know exactly what it is. What do I do for a day job, or do you have one? I work for a distributor of cell phone accessories and small consumer electronics here in Canada. So I'm actually a sales account manager for 2 large provinces up here. And that's kind of how I got into doing this whole tech thing, because I needed to make short, quick videos of unboxings and everything like that of products we carry. But I actually haven't done anything even related to the company in months now. So that's what I do. So yeah.
Zach?
Yes, sir.
We got to talk about monkey nipple.
Okay. You want to hear the story? Okay.
I want to hear the story. Yeah.
Well, okay. I want you to explain to everybody why you say that. And then I'll explain to you what happened. It actually happened last week. It happened last Thursday. It's a great story. But you explain to everybody the monkey nipple thing first.
Okay. So for those of you all that don't do YouTube, who are not familiar with how YouTube works, and basically just advertising and brand managed marketing and things like that in person, profanity is not a good look. Now, I don't curse a lot, but I would say maybe like not even like 3 months ago, I used to curse on my main channel from time to time. You guys know I kind of curse a little bit more on the live stream because I'm a little more loose on the live stream. But on the main channel, I used to curse like very rarely, but it used to happen from time to time. But when we went to Vid Summit and found out just how much cursing can like hurt you in the YouTube algorithm and just with advertisements in general.
Yeah, and the algorithm can't distinguish context.
Yeah,
So-
the algorithm doesn't care. If you say a curse word, the algorithm could potentially shut your stuff down.
Or you might say effing this just to kind of state a point. It just understands effing, right? So
Yeah. So if you say a curse word in your YouTube video, the algorithm can pick it up and pretty much put your video in restricted mode, which means it can't be found by anybody. So, and to avoid that, I made the decision to stop cursing on the main channel entirely. But it's kind of hard for me to do videos the way I do and be me and not curse. So what I decided to do was come up with a, let's say, more creative way to curse, and still I came up with a creative way to curse, but not really say curse words per se.
Mm-hmm.
So my creative solution to cursing, but not cursing, was basically putting monkey nipple into any sort of sentence or phrase that I could make it fit and make it sound like I'm cursing. So when I want to give off the appearance that I'm like mad or pissed off, I basically say something to the effect of, "What in the monkey nipple is that?" So that's how it came about. And people laugh at it, and it worked for me. It sounded
have you used it outside of YouTube, like in your everyday life by accident?
No, not at all.
Oh, can you imagine if you're out with the bros?
That
What
would
the
be funny,
monkey
though.
nipple?
Seriously. So monkey nipple is my creative way of cursing. Now, Zach, you gotta tell us what happened with monkey nipple.
So I usually let my son watch the first half hour of Viper before we have to go and do his reading for the night, because we read every night and everything like that. And he's got a couple of chores and like that. And my son just turned 7. His birthday was 2 weeks ago. So wow, my son is 7. Wow. Anyway. So I let him watch the first half hour of Viper, because Viper's friendly and Viper's fun, and he just he understands now, but at the time he used to call it the guy that screams at the screen. So he likes watching Viper because he just thinks you're the coolest and everything like that. And so you started saying monkey's nipple. So we get this call. I'm sorry, but it's so funny. It's so ridiculous. And thank God my son's principal is really cool. We get this call. We get this call last week. Sorry. It's so dumb. The administrators called. ring. Okay, so Mr. Zach, hi, your son had detention today and wasn't allowed to go at recess. I'm like, why? Well, for the last 2 days during recess, he's been running around saying, "Hey, you monkey's nipple, get over here." And so-and-so is being a monkey's nipple. And I had to mute the phone from laughing. So I unmute the phone and I'm like, go on. And I had to mute it again just to laugh.
I'm crying.
So she's going on and on. And then he brings the principal in. So there's 3 of us, and he repeats the same story. And all I can think is, my son's the greatest person in the world. And all I could think was, and the first, after I said go on a couple of times, and then I said, you know what? It could be a lot worse. And there was this moment of silence, and the principal went, you're right. It could be a lot worse. You could be saying, this is a Catholic school. And could you please tell him not to do this? Because we had an issue with him the year before calling his teacher a broccoli.
What?
Because we make fun of each other in the house all the time. I'm like, Brandon, you're being a broccoli. What? Dad, you're being a potato. And just name call. So he was calling his teacher the year before a broccoli, Mrs. Broccoli, because her name was Brown, whatever. Anyway, so that's what happened last week. I got a call, so I had to sit down with it. I'm like, listen, these words and phrases, we'll just keep them inside the house. And I said, don't call people's name. Don't call people monkey nipple. Because I guess kids were asking what's a nipple? And then,
God.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, God.
The moderators are out there going, yeah. So that was, but I'm just so damn proud of him. So that's what happened. I couldn't keep it together. I had to keep on muting my phone to laugh. And I'm like, and I kept on saying, I can't believe I'm getting a phone call about this. but that's what happened. So it's my fault for letting my son watch you. But honestly, but it could be worse, right? He could be running around effing this and s-ing that and everything else, right?
How in the hell am I supposed to know that a kid is gonna go around bringing monkey nipple to people?
I'm not blaming you. I just think it's amazing that he picked that up.
Yeah, right. Like I just made up the most randomest phrase I can make up without cursing, and then your kid goes around screaming monkey nipple.
I mean, he's allowed to watch front page tech now because John and everything like that believe everything else. But actually, this reminds me of something I read today, or read last week, and I wish I had bookmarked it, about how apparently YouTube has actually come out and said how they measure swearing. And I think Roberto probably knows a lot about this. But apparently, if you swear after the first 30 seconds, you don't get buried as much as if it was like right at the start, or if it was in your title or in. So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they made a video about this.
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. So if you wanted to be a little more liberal and this and that, Gino says I did. We went out and bought Legos, man. I went out and bought them. We bought some Legos on the week. It was great.
You rewarded him. Oh God!
For Christmas. He got this before Christmas, but he got this 2,000 piece AT walker. It's amazing. So that's the story. But I just think it's funny. I mean, you can call me whatever kind of parent you want.
Did you hear any of this?
Yo, I was dying when I heard that.
Right?
If I was a teacher and I heard a little kid say that, I couldn't even get him in trouble. I'm like, yo, that's funny right there.
T, you have kids, correct?
No, I don't have any kids. No.
Not that you know of. Okay, but anyway, yeah. But I mean, I'm just kidding, man.
Yo, that's hilarious. Like, as a dad, though, that was like, yo, that is so funny, man. I get constantly told says monkey nipples anyway. I die laughing every single time.
I get constantly told by friends and family, "You're the most immature father ever, and it makes you one of the greatest fathers ever." And I'm like, okay,
that's the way you gotta do it, man. That's the way you gotta do it. That blue monkey nipples is. I've told Viper that before. Like, yo, when you say blue monkey nipples, it is so hilarious, man. I'm telling you.
Exactly right. I want a T-shirt with that on it.
Oh my God!
You gotta make it.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna buy it for my son.
Yeah, you gotta make it. I need one of those, just like Travis. He needs to put "I am the B-roll" on a T-shirt. You gotta do it, man.
Has Travis done that yet?
I don't think so.
Get on it, Travis.
I can't put nipple on a T-shirt.
I told him twice. I don't know. You might have to figure out a creative way to do it.
Come on, man. The outrage culture and bitching about iPhone shadow challenge pictures and not being paid for them. And you think I can put monkey nipple on a T-shirt and get away with it? I highly doubt it.
I want to walk my kid to school with the shirt that says nipple on it, and it's a Catholic school, and just see the look on the teacher's face when I'm walking him in.
The nastiest.
They're gonna roast you, seriously.
Yo, hilarious.
What am I supposed to do now?
Yo, that's hilarious, man.
Don't do anything, man. Viper, don't change, man. It's I'm the father. I'm the one that lets him watch it.
Oh God,
that's classic.
Was his mom cool the situation? No, she was not. But I don't care.
Nah, you got that's just too funny. Some things are just too funny right there to even get him in trouble. Like, it's too funny. Way too funny, man.
Yep.
I did not foresee when I used that phrase that a little kid will run around his school calling people monkey nipples.
You'd be surprised. See, that goes to show you never know who's watching.
Your son was on the jungle gym, and he called a bunch of his friends over. Get over here, you monkey nipples! And he was like screaming it. I guess.
Oh God!
Get over here, monkey nipples! And I'm like,
classic.
Oh Lord,
that is classic right there, yo.
Oh,
super
man.
classic, man.
Wow.
T, how are you?
Oh my God.
Man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man? Glad to see you back, man.
I'm good. I'm getting there, and it's the whole mental and then health, and then you got to take care of yourself first, right? And then make sure you got all your ducks in order at home and everything like that, and then work and everything, and before you can kind of dive back into the things. But the support from yourself and everybody in the community has been unbelievable. And like I said last week during my live stream, thank you. So
I don't know if I can finish the live stream. I don't know if I can finish the live stream after that.
You might just change it to monkey nipples, man. You might got to change it the live stream name, man.
I don't know if I can finish the live stream tonight.
I'm gonna rename my channel Monkey Nipple Tech.
Monkey Nipple Tech. Classic, man. What's going on with y'all for tonight, though, man?
I'm trying to recover right now.
Yeah, it was funny.
I wish I had video of it or something like that. But
that would have been crazy.
Oh man, so Zach, you are longer due for a video. So what are you working on? What
Yeah, I actually recorded 2 things this week and 1 thing last week, but I have to re-record that. So I'm probably gonna drop a 10-hour update on Sunday. Maybe a little something fun that I threw together for tomorrow. But yeah, there'll be definitely at least 1 thing this week. And I'm just gonna kind of aim for 1 to 2 videos a week kind of thing. That's, I'm not gonna push myself as much as I was before. And I'm gonna focus more on cinematography and just kind of making sure that every video has that value. But I'm also going to kind of take the Sarah Dici approach as well, which is kind of like 1 for them, 1 for me, 1 for them, 1 for me kind of thing, just to kind of keep your sanity, right?
There you go.
Right. So not to say that every video has always been for them or for the audience. It's just to want to make sure that I've got that proper balance. Are you okay? What happened?
I'm just thinking about what your son.
Okay.
Yes, that
I thought you thought someone broke in the house or something there.
No. That cracked me up. I really thought you were lying. I thought you were playing on Twitter.
No, man. It's too outrageous to lie about it.
Nah, that's too good. That's too good of a story.
If he was upright,
you can't make that
right
up.
now. But I bring him down here to say it to you, but he's sleeping.
Oh, man.
Oh, that'd be classic.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
So T, man, what are you working on? What you doing over there, man?
Man, what am I not doing? I'm doing this video. I just shot the video of this chair that I got, man. Secret Labs hooked me up. They dropped me this chair. I am loving it, man.
Everybody's been getting chairs lately. I've been noticing on my Twitter.
Can I get a chair though? Damn!
Hey, look, man. I was just emailing, man, and I'm thinking back in my head, like I always think that a lot of companies just work off subscriber numbers. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, they're not going to send me a chair. You know what I mean? So I'm just emailing because I had you'll see in the video, the IKEA chair I had, that damn thing makes so many noises that you just did not know what would happen at any given time. So, I just hooked them up and they sent me an email back and was just like, sure, just go pick one out. I was like, say it again. So I went pick one out, man. They sent it out in 2 days, like express, man. And I just got it today and did the video, so I'm literally editing that as we speak, man. So that'll go out maybe Sunday.
I need the Technically T email template because you
need a template.
you seem to have a lot of success with the email game. I need to figure out how you do it.
Was strategically written, yo.
Exactly. I need the template. Mommy, God.
I got you. I got you.
You need a desk Viper.
For real. I do got you, Vibe. I got you for real. I'll drop it to you. I'll drop it to you.
Oh my Lord.
You need a desk Viper. They probably look and go, he has a couch. What does he need a chair?
You'd be surprised, man. I guess you just be surprised when you just ask companies, man, because it's a lot of times I don't even want to ask them because I'm like, some of these companies are so funny acting. You see what I'm saying? So it's not
it's not like I haven't tried. I mean, even Jeff passed me the email of somebody that was looking to have people review their chairs, and I sent them an email and I got nothing. No,
I don't know what you just truly don't know what they're looking for. I know some people say they don't care about numbers, they care more about engagement and how active you are on YouTube, Twitter, IG. I just don't know what companies go by because
you know what I do. You know what I do? I have a standard sort of email kind of thing, and depending on the company, and so I basically have an opening, and then I kind of word out the value I can bring. And then what I do is, how we get that weekly or that monthly email saying this is what you grew by and everything like that.
Right.
What I do is I show the previous months, and then I show the growth, so you can see, this is where I was 2 months ago with IG. This is where I am now. This is where I was Twitter. This is where I am. This is where I was. And I use those numbers. Right. And they seem to all appreciate that, right?
I never thought about that. Man. That's actually a good approach.
What you want to propose is dear XX company, this is the value I can bring you. And these are the kind of people I have 12% women and 88% men between the ages of 19 and 35, right? So, and this is right. So that's I find that I get the most response out of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's a good point, man. But like El Jefe just said, I don't even have a desk set up. I was using dual screens, and I don't even use dual screens anymore. I just have my iMac elevated up.
Yeah,
I don't even have a fancy desk. This is an IKEA desk, the cheapest IKEA desk you can get. I didn't even tell them really anything about my desk. I just literally told them that, hey, I spend a lot of time on my computer. I'm looking for a chair for comfort and everything like that. And it wasn't even fancy.
Yeah, but some companies are just cool like that. Right? They get it, right? They get it.
Yeah.
Right?
All right,
so it was cool.
I need to take a moment to welcome back John Proctor from the depths of the abyss, man. What's up, John Proctor, man? That dude been hiding. He's been hidden. He ain't been talking to nobody. He just showed up magically, I think, yesterday, and now he's in the chat. So what's up, John? How you doing? I hope you're all right, dude. Been a while, dude. It's been a while.
Yeah.
My man.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta try it, man. You just gotta just email them, man. You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one company just emailed me about some cases. I'm kind of a little funny style with them because they shot me down like a year ago. Was like, oh no, your numbers and everything like that aren't really, our reach wouldn't be. They're like basically like shitting on me, like your reach wouldn't do anything. Who? No, I know I'm cool with Nimbus 9. I'm cool with them.
Nimbus 9 is the company that is the case manufacturer that the company I work for recently picked up. So we're exclusive with them. It was kind of funny because their marketing girl emailed me and I'm like, so and so, this is Zach, hey, from she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, send me stuff anyway. So
right. Now I like Nimbus 9 cases, man. They just didn't have the best website, and I told them that.
Yeah, they're up and coming.
Their website really isn't that good, but you have good cases. You see what I'm saying?
They're
this case company it literally like maybe an hour ago. How you doing? We really loved you. I was like, yeah, but last year you shitted on me. So I don't know. I'm a little sour to reply back to that one. This has been a company I've been looking forward to working with, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Y'all kind of, but I'll work it out, man. I'll work it out. These companies are funny out here, man.
Are you using a different camera now? Now with
the A7 III. I'm on the A7 III.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You liking that?
Loving it, man. Loving it. I bought it more for like what I want to do outside of YouTube, which is like photography. So I kind of bought it for that reason more so than the actual YouTube. But I mean, it helps. So,
there's been so much noise about the A6400 because of a flip-up screen. I think it's just so ridiculous. I'm
still on the end of just if you're calling that a vlogger's camera, and then
there's no in-body.
There's no in-body. Like when Floss did his was shaky, and I know you saw it, Viper. It was in the beginning part. The footage was a little shaky. Yeah. So I'm like, how are you going to call it a vlogging camera when you don't even have in-body? Like,
I think for in a studio it'd be perfect, but I would almost want something bigger, like what I have on my A6500, right? So, I mean, almost there, Sony, almost there.
Yeah, almost. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss. The quality looks good, but I just, I don't know, man.
Got to get that stabilization up.
You got to get that stabilization, man. We won't get to start with the camera. I know Viper would be like, the hell with this camera talk, yo. Man. You Viper ain't deal with a bunch of camera talk, yo.
I remember when I set up the camera, you were like going through the man. You're like, what is it? I mean,
no, it's interesting because I got involved in a Twitter like resolution snafu between Marquez and Dave 2D and Michael Fisher. It was crazy. And they were talking about the different frame rates that they shoot with. And I'm just like, I don't even know the difference between them. All I know is that I shoot in 24p because that's supposed to be the best for talking head videos. That's all I know.
Yeah. I shoot in 30, man. I don't really care for 24 frames, man.
Yeah,
I do 30.
I'm at 30 at 4K. That's what I set mine at. And then when I do my B-roll, it's 1080. But at 120, and of course you slow it down. But if I didn't use that, then I would just use the iPhone. And that's it. I just keep it simple, right? So
yeah.
Other than that, I don't know how to do any of the other settings on my phone, on my camera. I know there's probably amazing things I can do with it. But
me too. My camera has never been in 120 frames per second.
I don't know near. I mean, I'm just. I want to say I'm Viper's vote, but we have very similar votes in terms of camera knowledge. I'm telling you, man. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know more than I do, dude. So none of you all are going to be bothered with the 6400. I mean, T got the 873, and Zach, you got the 6500, right?
Yeah, well, I got a separate monitor on top anyway, so when I do my audio separate, so there's no real point to me going to that, right? So
it's a cool little camera though. I think it serves a particular market. You know what I mean? But like I said, in the studio is dope, and you got that better autofocus. It's dope, but. For a vlogger, I think there's better options when you come to vlogging. Even though I know it's action packed, it's feature packed.
There's other Sony ones that are just as good that already have a flip up here. I can't remember which model it is. One of the RX models. I think.
Yeah, the RX 1000 or 100. Yeah, that one. Yeah,
like it's super small.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the free pausing time. I'm going to take this moment to congratulate Shannon on her news that she dropped the other night.
Oh yeah,
she has a little one on the way. shout out to you, Shannon.
She's got a bun in the oven.
She has a bun in the oven. Yeah.
Good job.
I did watch that live stream. I don't think I commented though, but definitely congrats. I think I was doing something. I was looking though. I was looking.
That little one is in very good hands, Shannon. So congrats. I know you'll be a amazing mommy. And
is this number one for her?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I think that's number one, I think. But yeah, shout out to Shannon.
Yeah, that's dope stuff.
Shannon, is this your first? I think it is because I don't think she's ever.
I think it is too. Before. Yeah,
that's awesome though.
Oh, I scared her away.
Change your life.
She's like with mute. Oh yeah, there she go.
It is her first. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
change your life. Change your life. It's it's change your life.
Another area which I know nothing about.
Right. I'll live through my niece. Man.
Is that right? Exactly. T. Absolutely. I'll be the uncle. Live
through my niece all day long.
Yeah, I'll be the uncle. I'm cool.
You're the cool uncle on YouTube.
I know. That's what my brother says. She'll see me like, I want to see Uncle TT, and then he'll pull up a YouTube video, and he'll be like, "Oh, Uncle TT's on TV." So it's like,
that's awesome, man.
That is pretty cool.
Pretty funny, man.
Oh man.
So T, what phone are you using right now? Still.
It's funny, man, because I'm about to start letting some phones go, man. I got too many damn phones. So
which one has your SIM card?
10S Max and Note 9.
10S Max and Note 9. Okay.
Yeah. Got to stay in there. I think I'm about to let go to 10R. I think I'm gonna sell the 10R, and I think I'm gonna sell my S9 Plus. I think it's time for them to go now. I don't use the S9 Plus at all. I don't know when the last time I turned it on, but it's just sitting in my room.
Yeah, mine's been sitting up there since.
Oh
yeah.
I know Zach's answer because he's Zach. But T, are you getting the S10?
Of course.
Okay.
I usually go always big version, S10, always the most expensive version. This year, I think I might tone it down and go S10, the regular.
I think that I was looking at some of the renders, and I think I prefer the smaller one as well.
I think I'm going the smaller one this route. I always go with the biggest and all. No, this year I kind of want to. I think I'm gonna go small route with everything.
Do both have supposedly have the same cameras on the back?
I don't know.
It's just the front's different.
I think just the front is different. I can't see them having the cameras different, except the smaller, the light or whatever.
Yeah,
I can see them. I can see them probably downplaying the camera on that. But between the S10 and the S10 Plus, they gotta have the same camera. That'd really be crazy if they switched it up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm definitely getting it. Hopefully.
I mean, that's what they did last year, right? Because the S9 and the S9, the Plus had the second camera with the dual aperture, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know. Hopefully, man. I haven't really paid attention to a bunch of leaks and everything like that, man. So
yeah, I haven't really paid much attention either.
Nah, I'm about to get into that new mobile. They're sending me a phone next week because I keep hearing about them. And
are they gonna send you the G3?
I hit them on Twitter and they DM me. Was just like, yo, I was like, cool. I just been getting good luck this past 2 weeks.
Bro, I'm telling you, technically T and Easy Computer Solutions, man, they get everything. Y'all want to know how to get
man, like it's just this past week, man. I've been getting back heavy on my email grind. Like I try not to go to bed without at least sending like at the minimum 5-6 emails out a night. Maybe try to get like 10 a night, just to different companies, man. And then I don't even go to bed until I do that. You see what I'm saying? And then you get more yeses than no's, man.
Okay. Did you figure out what you want to do for a website yet?
No, I haven't, man. I kind of stopped for a second. I need to get back focused on it. I just have like literally 10 videos to shoot. Yeah. I shot one tonight. I have like so many to shoot tomorrow. Bunch of cases and a Bluetooth speakers and a few other things, but I have to get back on the website thing. I just don't know which direction I want to go with it, man. I just really don't.
So here, my question to you, T. Yeah. How do you find out who to email at these different companies?
I just go to the website and go to press or contact, and they may have a section that says reviewer program, or they just may have a contact us section to where you just
press or marketing.
Yeah, press marketing. You know, it's just whatever they have on their website, contact us, whatever they have just to get in contact with them. That's as soon as I look for. I go to the website, either the top, go all the way to the bottom, contact us, boom. And I just send the email. You see what I'm saying? So if I hear back, no, if I, cool. At least I've reached out to companies to where they've told me, no, we'll reach back out to you, and they've reached back out. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I really work hard with that email template that I put together, and it seems to be working. It's short, sweet, to the point.
Seems to be.
Boom.
More like,
but I got you, though, Mike. I got you.
More like working like a mofo, dude. Good Lord. like the magic email template, man.
I slacked off for a long time, man, but I had to start getting back on my grind. I slacked off for a minute, man, but I'm back heavy right now. Like trying to go in hard.
Yeah, do your thing, man. Do your thing. We're kind of in a lull right now, but once Mobile World Congress hits, we're off again.
Right. But I like what you're doing, Vyp, though. I like what you're doing with the Apple centered content because I've been seeing the views and everything are getting better each night you put it out. I've noticed that. And that's a good little strategy what you got going on, man.
Yeah, so I mean, Roberto, as much as I hate it, Roberto Blake, he's always talking about how you got to niche down.
Yeah.
And I've just been observing other people and how they've grown, like Rene Ritchie, like he's grown like wildfire over the past year. And like I'm looking at the videos that he's doing, I'm like, all right, it's all Apple content, basically. And even the content that's not Apple centric, somehow it comes back to Apple and comes back away. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try this. Like my stuff has pretty much been all over the place for the first year. So this year, I'm just going to hammer down into Apple-centric content. Yeah. It's not going to be only Apple because that gets boring after a while, but it's basically going to be Apple-centric, and I'm going to see if the algorithm like disseminates it to more people. And like you said, it's been working because each video gets more initial velocity than the last. I'm like,
they do. Yeah, I've been noticing that. I watched all of them. Like his velocity from starting off has been good, better than your other videos. Like I've noticed that. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna keep it up and see what happens.
Yeah, keep that grind. Keep that avenue, man. But it was funny you put that tweet out about your about page. I found that out maybe about 2 weeks ago about your about page needs to kind of match. That algorithm is crazy, man. That thing is crazy, yo.
I didn't even know. It's funny because the only reason why I even looked into it today because like I put that tweet out earlier about somehow my video was a suggested video from a video about a railroad.
I saw that.
I'm like, what? So I'm like, what the hell is this? So I go look at my channel keyword because you can like. There's a setting on your channel where you can go and set channel keyword.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, the keywords aren't anything that would even remotely suggest railroad, but I changed them anyway, and I made them more like I think I put in like Apple, iOS, iPhone, things like that. Yeah. And then I was reading something else, and then something said something to the extent of your about page is more important than your channel keyword because the algorithm uses your about page. Yeah, it ties into how I rank your videos. I'm like, what? Yeah. So earlier today, I went and I redid the about session. So now that's more Apple centric too, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's a game, man.
Dude, I know Brandon and Travis pretty much got the analytics locked up, but I'm not really too good with analytics. But I'm trying to figure it out more and more every day. So
yeah, man, it's you just gotta learn slowly but surely. I don't have it all locked down, but I know a few little tricks and stuff people talk about. But I mean, who knows what? I mean, people know what works, but I try not to get my head too wrapped around it.
Are you going to come to VidCon this year?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I want to make it to something, man. I have just never been around no other creators. You know what I mean? I know me and Roberto are supposed to get up since he's in Atlanta, like on his podcast.
Yeah.
So I know me and him are supposed to get up, but I do want to get up and do Vid Summit. My goal is hopefully CES next year. Yeah. Maybe. You know what I mean? I just want to get around some people that I talk to, all of y'all on Twitter and stuff. I would like to meet, you know what I mean? So hopefully, you know what I mean? I need to start planning too.
Yeah, Vid Summit was complete value, so I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it looked like some pretty good information was out there, man. So I probably would love to get up out there for real.
Yeah, I'm still watching the replays every day here and there, so which is good, right? So yeah.
I'm gonna drive through, man. I want to get to something, man. Like I said, it's kind of limited here in Atlanta. Like it's creators here, and we have like a Facebook group with creators, and I think they're trying to make like a creator day. To where we can meet other people and stuff like that, but I just haven't collabed with anybody, or I would like to do a local collab or something like that. You know what I mean? Or just it don't even got to be a collab, just chill. So
yeah,
man.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like talking to people online, it's nice and all that, but it's a completely different experience when you like talking to creators face to face in person. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be. I can imagine. Definitely.
Especially when you're like surrounded by like a conference like VidSummit. Oh my God, that was nuts.
Yeah, it was so many. You know what I mean? I was watching Daryl E's live stream and then just all of you guys' videos. I'm like, yeah, that looked like a good time. Like that looked like a legit dope good time. So
yeah, it's like I've never been to VidCon, but I've heard like some people talk about the differences, and like VidCon is more of like a fanfare thing. So
okay,
I don't think you'll have like the close like relationship with the creators if you go to VidCon. Right. As opposed to if you go to VidSummit, which is pretty much an only creators event, a creators only event. There's no
VidCon's for the fans. I mean, you can go for brand This is my understanding from Roberto. VidCon, you can go to interact with the brands, like you as a creator. But other than that, it's supposed to be mostly a fan event kind of thing, right? So that's my understanding, but not, Batman. If anybody's going to tell you about their experience with that, I'll listen to what Jason has to tell you. So yeah.
Where's everybody at anyway? I feel like it'd be a packed house by now, man. It's early though. It's just 10:30.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't really invite. See, the thing about when I have like people like Rene and Michael on, I don't want to bombard them with too many people.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's why I didn't get on. I told you, I said I'm not getting on until the heavy hitters. I like to be low key. So when the heavy hitters roll out, I slide in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when I when I have like bigger people like that, I don't like to bombard it with too many people. So I try to hold it down a little bit.
Oh, that's how you do it.
But I figured Zach will want to talk to Rene. I'm like, all right, Zach, you can come on here and talk to Rene. I know you want to talk to Rene. Come on now.
Yeah. No, Rene's a gem and a definite resource for our community. Yeah.
But I know my man Emilio wants to come in here, so I'm going to shoot him the link real quick.
I know you got the link. I was still in the middle of eating, grinding. I was like, okay, let me do that. By the time it was like perfect timing because I had just finished editing the video, and I was like, boom, perfect. Then I heard you say like somebody get him. I was like, yeah, I'm coming. I was literally like making me another drink, and I was like, I'm coming. I'm
like, yeah, get it. Where's that? Get in there.
But like I said, I was just waiting until because I know they stay for They stay for a good while, and they've been staying for a while. Like I watched.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, like last week when MKBHD was there, I wasn't really in the chat, but I watched the entire stream. I had like some people over, but it was on my iMac just playing, and I was like, yo, he's staying for a while. Like he stayed legit for like what, an hour and a half, 2 hours almost.
I took off before Marquez did. I couldn't believe how long. I thought he would only be on for like an hour or so, but he was just in there, right?
Yeah, he was doing the thing. He was in there for like almost 2.5 hours. Yeah, he hung out. I was not expecting that at all. He
was chilling for real.
He was chilling. But that's the thing, though. That's the type of atmosphere I try to create with these live streams. I don't want people thinking they're going to get grilled and like and interviewed hardcore. I'm like, listen, just come, just chat, and you can come and go as you please, because that's pretty much the nature of the live stream anyway. People come and go.
That's the thing about chill, man. It's just like, to be sliding. I know, like, I get in there eventually. Just drop the link. I'll come in there eventually sometime tonight. You know what I mean? So, like, I just want to get that one video done, and I'm chilling now. I just gotta make a thumbnail and chill.
It's just crazy how this live stream has grown from when I first started it back. Like the first Friday Night Vyp I did was last May, and I was by myself. I was in my living room. I was live streaming. I think I did it for like 2 to 3 hours. And that was the very first Friday Night Vyper. And now here we are today with all these bigger creators and just personalities and everything. And
but I think that just proves that what we may perceive as bigger or whatever, a huge creator, that they're accessible.
Yeah, they are.
Right. All you have to do is ask.
Exactly.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Just reach out. And don't be creepy about it. Don't be creepy and weird about it.
Right. Weird. Now, you definitely made an atmosphere, man, because I tell you, man, if I'm sitting in the house on a Friday night, I do not mind, because one, I'm either going to be watching the chat and laughing, or two, I'm going to be in the stream. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, look, I don't care. My Friday nights are just fine if I'm in the crib, because your stream on a Friday night is too clutch. You probably are the reason some people stay in on Friday nights. A lot of people in the chat right now, I bet, be like, yo, I'm staying.
I passed up my date tonight to do this, so yeah. Just kidding.
My boys hit me up, was like, "Yo, we going out tonight. Let's get some drinks. The first clear night." I was like, "Nah." I told my man I was gonna be on this stream too. I got videos to do, man. I can't even do it, yo.
Oh, we got Tanner does tech out there. What's up, Tanner? How you doing, bro?
Let me take this phone call real quick. I'll be back in a minute, man.
Do your thing, man. But no, it's funny that T said that, because I remember with John Proctor saying like he scheduled his evenings around Friday Night Vyp. I'm like, stop playing, dude. But he was dead serious. I'm like, okay.
No, it's definitely. I think I've missed maybe 3 since he started. Like flat out, like not been there at the start, kind of thing.
But do you know what the funny thing that happened to me earlier tonight, Zach?
What happened?
When Michael Fisher said that he watched so many of my videos that he was expecting to get yelled at. That completely threw me off guard. I'm like, whoa!
But doesn't that feel good though?
I'm like, wow. I was in shock. I'm like, what?
Now you need to do a reaction video to one of his videos. Michael, we need to talk.
I should. That'd be funny. But first of all, I had no idea that he watched my content at all. I just, I mean, can I reach out to these creators? But I don't know if they know, they are aware of me. But I'm assuming that most of them never watched any of my videos. I mean, why would they?
I mean, I'm subscribed to you, but lately when I'm on YouTube, I've been using the like on the mobile app, I've been going through the recommendation tab, just scrolling up, and I always see your stuff pop up. I'm not sure if it's because I'm subscribed to you or whatever, but I'll be going through and Man, there's some weird stuff that's like recommended to me, and I'm like, I've never searched for this thing. I have no interest in this thing, but yes, I will watch your bikini haul. So, yeah, I don't know how that happens because I don't watch that kind of stuff, right? So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like but Roberto said a long time ago, he's like, you never know who's watching. Like, he's not lying.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's true. You definitely never know, man.
You never know who's watching, man.
I just like I was on Instagram and Sean Cano for Think Media like my IG post. I was like,
yeah.
He put like a fire emoji under a thumbnail, and I was just like, how in the world did you even get to my page? You know what I mean? Like, how does that even happen? But you just never know. You know
when
what I mean?
when I put out that tweet of me in the hospital, I actually got a couple emails. I'm not gonna say who they were from. They're bigger creators out there. They actually reached out to me at my business email saying, "Hey, hope you're okay." Didn't want to tweet back because like a billion people are going to reply and everything like that because I see that this bigger creator kind of thing, and so that felt good because again, you never know who's watching, right? So yeah,
you don't, man.
That's
pretty
cool.
surprising. On the YouTube world, you never know who may watch your videos.
No, even when you're a small creator, you never know. So Tanner said Michael Fisher, the Chicago YouTuber. I think he's in Boston. Is he from originally from Chicago?
He is in Boston, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Boston. I don't know if he's originally from Chicago, but I'm pretty sure he's in Boston now. So I don't know about that.
We got Life of Tech in the house here. What time
we got Roger. What's up, Roger? How you doing, man?
Crispy man himself.
Yeah. It's like he's 8 or 10 hours ahead of us, I think. So
yeah, I know. Isn't it like 5 in the morning somewhere?
Yeah, he's up late.
How's that Brexit thing going? Man, what a cluster thing that is right now.
Oh yeah. So T, we were talking to Rene and Michael earlier, but what do you think about the whole Portless phone thing that's happening with the Vivo and the Me Do Zero?
You know what? I saw that, man, and I watched Drew's video earlier on it, and I don't know, man. That's kind of like really pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? It's like, do you want that to be the next thing? Like,
I'm definitely gonna get my hands on one because I had the first Vivo Next right here, and I really like it.
I just want to see how. I don't know, man. Like, I haven't read too much into it. I've been hearing talks about it. I watched Drew's video, but that's all I've really done. But just turn it on, and I feel like it's a big learning curve. You know what I mean? I don't know if buttons don't bother me. You know what I mean? I don't need to,
But it's what it's what the tech community apparently has been asking for. You know how back up. For example, when someone like Benjamin Geskin, for example, releases a picture, or EV Leaks releases a picture of a concept or something like that, and then the first few comments are always, "Look how big the chin is," or "Look at the bezels and everything like that," right?
Yeah, you know
so Vivo did it. They gave you something that's like 99% screen,
right,
which is where apparently people want to head to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the bezels on the Note 9. There's nothing wrong.
None.
No, man, right?
I always say that the bezels. If that is the way smartphones have to stay, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Same here.
And if we got to get thicker to like put that camera bulge flush with the phone, we can do that. I'm okay with that.
Man. I'm good with that. But I don't know. There's no port, no man. That's
it uses a weird magnetic thing on the back here to charge, because I've gone through the slides on their website and capacitive keys on the sides and everything like that. But it's interesting going through all this. They don't talk about the selfie camera, if there is even one, and they don't talk about waterproofing, because you got to think, if it's completely encased, it'd be waterproof, right?
It'd be waterproof easy. That should be easy to waterproof.
But there's no indication of that. So the more information of it will be revealed at MWC. So I'm actually more interested. That's the one thing I'm really interested in seeing.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped to see that then, because I'm curious. I guess you know what that's what people want, because they don't want any notches. You don't want any bezels. Yeah. So but then you dislike the S10 pinhole. Like, what the hell do you want? What do you want in a smartphone? Then?
It's a Vivo, so it's still going to be horrible because they have Fun Touch UI on there. But if you know how to put Nova or Action Launch or whatever, then you're good to go, kind of thing. But even then, I'd still give the Vivo Next only a 6 out of 10 because the camera is really not that great and everything like that. But
it's not that good. The camera's not good with the Vivo Next.
I could see noticeable differences between this and my Note, and I preferred the Note.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for tech heads like ourselves, we would notice that.
Yeah,
Right? The community, right? I mean, if I gave this to my mother, she'd be like, "Wow!" Right? And she did say, "Wow," when she saw it. So, yeah.
So yeah, you will never make people happy. People will find something to complain about everything. So
Exactly.
There's no pleasing everybody. So Jeff will point me to the tweet that of John Proctor wearing my shirt. So shout out to John Proctor for rocking the merch, man. I appreciate it.
Yo, Zach, I still have to order yours, Zach. I need to order yours tonight, man.
I need to. It's funny because I actually have your website. I actually have a bookmark right here. I'm actually looking at it right now.
I've been on a merch ordering spree, man. I've tried to order everybody who has it. I ordered Hefe's, Travis, Vipers, Tanner Does Tech. So Zach, I gotta get yours next, man.
Technically, it's just like a damn shirt exchange, man.
Hey, man, I'd rather just support. I was looking at other content creators. I'm like, you know what? Let's support the people that you rock with. You know, you talk to every day. So I mean,
no, I'm not mad at you, bro.
I'd rather that's the way I looked at it. Like, yo, let's just we all talk like, you know.
Now I remember why I didn't order it. You were talking about on Twitter about doing some different designs, and okay, here you go. Tech. How come I can't read this? What is this with the weird?
Oh, yeah, see, that's the one I got on.
What does it say, though? It says tech.
It says technically T. It's just like in a retro design. That's the one I have on. That one, it was a little different. I was like, I want something to just throw a little wrench in there. You know what I mean? So
I dig the hoodie, though. I like
the hoodie. I added, and Hefe, I got you. I don't know what sizes go to what. You know what I mean?
Okay, so the hoodie style that you picked here only goes to 2XL. The other hoodie style goes up to 5, which... unfortunately, but I mean, I'll probably grab a T-shirt here. Definitely, like OG logo premium. Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, okay, cool. I definitely appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get yours straight. I probably need to order yours like tonight. I just order them all and I have them literally all folded up, sitting in the drawer, just like I break them out at any given time, man.
I've got mine lined up for next week. I'm gonna be wearing a different creators thing during every video kind of thing. I thought,
that's how I do it when I get them. Like I just had Tanner, that AirPod video I did last night. I made sure you wear Tanner's because I just got it in the mail, and I'm kind of hating on you, Tanner, because you got Amazon Prime on your merch. Like,
who's got Prime?
That was clutch. Tanner Does Tech is on Amazon.
No, really?
And I had Prime getting. Teespring takes like 3 months to get your damn. Your merch. Tanner Does Tech mess came in 2 days, yo. I'm jealous. And the t-shirt is good quality. The fit is on point. So that had me thinking like, I don't know, man.
Here it is. Classic pullover hoodie. Yeah, here it is with your logo. This one goes up to 5. So I'm going to order this
cool.
right now. Look at that.
Yes, Amazon. I like Teespring because of the YouTube integration, but shipping times, man, that Amazon has got the game. Like Brandon just said, this is tech. Like, man, hey,
shipping times up to Canada for Teespring sucks, but I mean, I still prefer their quality. So
no, hold on before you order. You didn't order? Did you? Hold on, I got a free shipping.
Do it. Speaking of merchant stuff, if you guys want to support and super chat the chat tonight, y'all can hit up the Buy Me a Coffee link. I just posted in the chat. Helps your boy out immensely. Definitely not required, but if you guys are feeling generous, there's the link.
Have they switched? Has Buy Me a Coffee switched back to what do you call it?
Not that I know of.
PayPal yet or no?
Were they supposed to do that?
They were PayPal and then they weren't, and then
they I think they're done with PayPal. They're now it's Stripe, and Stripe takes forever.
Okay.
It was in the chat.
Free shipping
or 10% off. Check those out. Let me know. Make sure they work.
Oh, Teddy BT with the hookup.
Thanks. You can use code ZAC10 for mine.
Yeah, I remember you said that. I always take a screenshot of it. So
I need to figure out how to do all that fancy stuff.
It's easy though. If I just go on promotions, you can just make your own promotion.
Yeah, just make sure the promotion doesn't have an end date, and you can just keep it permanently.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Look at this. I'm gonna get the hot pink with the blue.
That's what I'm talking about. You gotta be stylish in your videos. It's gonna make them damn colors pop.
I'll look like the Kool-Aid guy. I'll
put that Philip Hue bulb to pink, yo, and rock out with.
All right, so
awesome.
The Emilio dude, I think it's too late for him. I tried to send him a link, but he disappeared. So
what Hefe got going on? Hefe, what you doing out there, man? Go and jump up in the stream, man.
Hefe probably hanging with the wife.
Yeah, I understand that, man.
This is gonna be a little weird for most of y'all, but I think we're running the stream here pretty soon because we had a pretty good conversation with Rene and Michael.
Yeah, y'all went in. I keep forgetting Hefe had 3 hours. That is true. Yeah, y'all were going in. Y'all were going in, man.
We were.
That was a good conversation, though.
That was damn good conversation, no doubt.
I had to watch more of Rene Ritchie's videos. I watched a few
need
of his,
to.
but
Rene
I watched
is-
Mr. Mobile. Like I said, he's one of Michael Fisher has been one of my favorite YouTubers for a very long time.
Yeah, Michael
But
Fisher,
Rene Ritchie, I got to look at a little bit more of his videos.
You do, man. He is a treasure, dude. My God.
He goes like in detail. Like,
Yes, he does.
He does his damn research. I know
Yeah.
that for a fact.
He is deep. But yeah, if you guys in the chat got any questions for T, Zach, or me, you better speak up because, like I said, I think we're another like 10 or 15 minutes and we're gonna call it a night.
I heard that, man.
Early
I
one.
was gonna keep editing, but man, what time is it? I'll probably hit it myself.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, Jeff, you're not lying, man. Michael Fisher is like I said, he is the smoothest dude in tech, man.
He's super smooth, yo.
Like from the swag to the way he presents his videos. I mean, damn.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I'm going through I'm going through the incomplete all 7 seasons again right now to get caught up before April. How do you think Game of Thrones is going to end?
I don't watch it, so I'm out of this conversation.
Why, you don't watch it?
Nah, man.
What's wrong with you?
I know everybody's saying I'm missing out. I know everybody's like, my brothers die hard. I tried watching it, man. It just didn't grab me, man. I'm gonna try over. I'm gonna try again.
What didn't grab you? It's got violence. It's got gore. There's
when Khaleesi was walking
through
the desert, she was walking in the desert for like a whole season. It lost me. It lost me, man. Right there.
Oh, you talking about Khaleesi? Okay, I got
Yeah, that's when I stopped watching it. Now my brother was just like, you gotta just get past that. Once you get past
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try it again.
do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. If you really want to catch your attention, watch the last 20 minutes of the last episode of the first season.
But see, I kind of ruined it for myself because I seen the last episode of last season. Like,
okay, so you saw with the eggs and everything.
Well, no, the wall was coming down with the
white wall
dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It just ruined it. My brother was like, no, it didn't ruin it. You just watch. You gotta just watch it. You know, I said I was gonna start back, but that's hella binge watching. That's 7 seasons, Joe. I can't do that.
Yes, you can. Once you start, you won't stop.
What do you say, Mike? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I'm in the middle of season 2 again right now, and I
That's
keep
a
on
long
noticing.
time, man.
So while Viper thinks of his answer, and we continue to laugh at T about for not watching, I'll tell you guys, I'm telling you this right now. It's either going to end up with somebody we didn't expect on the throne or everybody dead. And if you don't believe it's one of those two, you haven't been paying attention.
No, I know you're absolutely right, man. I think there is a scenario where everybody dies, man.
Everybody's.
Godly, I should call my brother and put him on speakerphone right now. He'll be into it.
You know, Zach, we live in such a damn outrage culture that there's no way in hell they'll get away with that.
Anybody who thinks that Jon and Daenerys are going to end up on the throne, you're an idiot. Okay, you haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention.
I don't know if Zach's been paying attention to me, but Zach, I am doing post-episode live streams to Game of Thrones this year.
That's going to be dope.
Really?
That's going to be huge.
Right after the episode ends, we will be right here on Vyp Live talking about it.
That'll be fun to watch, man.
That is going to be huge.
But
when you first said that, I was like, that's going to be legit.
So there are 6 episodes this season.
Yep.
The first 2 episodes are 60 minutes. The last 4 are 80 minutes.
Wait, what? The first only 60? Oh,
60,
man.
60, 80, 80, 80, 80.
Aren't they all an hour long?
Yeah.
No, right now the average episode is actually 53 minutes. Right now the average episode is 53 minutes.
I thought they were all going to be like an hour and a half. Damn.
No, 60, 60, 80, 80. 80.
Yeah, I want to watch six mini movie shit. I was ready to
Well, I
roll.
mean, anything over 60 minutes, is considered featured length. So those 80-minute episodes are features.
I want all feature length, man. Damn.
No.
Give me all that, yo.
All that.
So I was listening to some other podcasts and things and this and that over the last couple of weeks, and they have filmed multiple endings. They filmed a lot of fake things because they knew the paparazzi were watching here and on the outdoor things. So there's only 5 people in the world that actually know what the ending is.
Oh, I bet. And one of them is Sansa Stark, and she told somebody.
Yeah, apparently so. But she may only know what her character's ending is. I don't know, whatever. Sophie Turner, that's who you're thinking of.
Yep.
So,
yes, that is correct.
but I'm telling you right now, my best guess is that everybody is dead, or it's going to be someone completely out of left field that ends up on the throne.
I wouldn't mind Tyrion being the last man standing. That dude was cool as hell.
I think they're going to pull a Last Jedi on us in this season, which is just going to subvert our expectations. It's going to go completely left field. Because honestly, if you think that Daenerys and Jon end up on the throne, I mean,
I doubt
you're not paying attention.
It ain't the type of show. It ain't the type of party.
Jamie is going to kill Cersei.
What? Really? You think so?
Well, if you listen to the prophecy, it says her younger brother will kill her. Jamie's technically 2 months younger because they're twins, right?
Yeah, look, because I want Arya to kill her. Damn it. Ugh.
Yeah. Tyrion will not kill her. Tyrion will not be the one to kill her.
I'm just working on my thumbnail, man.
I want Arya to kill Cersei. I want Arya to just end her. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I bet, I could call my brother on speakerphone. He would go crazy right now. He'd be like, "Oh my God, what loud he?" He's all. I'll never forget. He was here whenever Jon Snow, I guess, like came back or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was in town that weekend, and I was in my room while he was watching it. He started yelling, going crazy. I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
I mean, technically speaking, his name is actually Aegon Targaryen. If you really want to get technical, so
I'm trying to figure out where has Gadget Beard been for the last like 15 minutes because I'm pretty sure
just repeated what you said you're going to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just said I was going to do that. Where you been, bro?
Combing his beard.
Where you been, bro?
Where you been? Dude, okay, so apparently Gadget Beard wasn't paying attention or he just walked out the room with something. But yeah, Gadget Beard, after every episode of Game of Thrones this year, I'm doing a live stream reaction to the episode right after the show. Everyone.
That's gonna be big, like I can't wait.
So that's every Sunday, basically.
I'm gonna watch it
every Sunday,
watch it, and I'm gonna watch it. Like,
yeah, man, I'll be
when
here.
you first said it, I was like,
yeah,
that's gonna be pretty.
Yes, it is happening after every Game of Thrones episode this year. I am doing a live stream immediately after the episode ends.
Mm-hmm.
I will be here.
So that means if you didn't watch it, don't show the hell up. I'm saying.
That's what I was just about to say.
I don't want nobody showing up. So you bought him. I'm like, no, duh, you idiot. Don't come on. Don't.
All I know is this: is that last episode people will be talking about for weeks, if not months. You know that they're going to set it up like that. Remember how pissed off people were with The Sopranos? How it ended?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this will make Sopranos look like Sesame Street. Okay, so
Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, I believe you.
By the way, Grover did say "FN" in that video clip. You guys have seen it? Have you guys seen that? Where Grover apparently says the F word.
Grover. What are you talking about?
Grover from Sesame Street, bro.
Oh, I don't know. No.
Okay, I'll send the clip to you. But anyway, there's a Sesame Street episode. Apparently, depending on how you hear it, he drops the F-bomb.
Simply Beth. Last minute. What's up, Beth? I'm about to get up out of here, but how you doing? All right, you fellas have any last word before we depart for the evening?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Always good time, man. Always good time. I'm good on my end.
Thank you guys for joining us.
I'm gonna send you that email. I'm gonna drop it to you via IGDM. I got you.
Yeah, man. Please send me the email template because whatever you're doing, bro, it's working. Like, my God.
I got you.
You got like the magic touch with the emails.
It's a durag.
Yeah.
No.
That's what it is.
The way
that is the key.
It's the way under the durag. See, you gotta
No. It's the durag is the damn key, man. I'm telling you, man.
No doubt. All right, so for my man Zach, welcome back, Zach. Hope to see more of you on the tube, no doubt.
Yep, this weekend.
For my man Technically T, thank you for hopping in. Appreciate your boy.
Always, homie.
For both my people, it's your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.